Hello, wow, that was weird. Hello, my heroes and villains. It's me, the ever illustrious Saus's Grand Tomato Slime Extraordinaire. I forgot that I need to turn HI3 back up. But yes, it is me. We're here. It's HI3 time. Again, we're free of the Elysian realm. I know I've been complaining constantly that I miss the Hyperion crew, but I'm still crying over Elysia. I already miss her. It's okay, we have her over in Star Rail now. But yes, hello, thank you, Hope, for the resub. I think of a better slime pun. But yes, we're back, and with good news, everyone! Firefly has freed me of controller drift. As I posted on my Blue Sky, I think, God, did I not post it to Blue Sky? I may not have. I definitely posted on my Discord. My Firefly controller is here. So I'm free of controller drift, for now at least. But yeah, so we are finally finished with To the Flawless. We are on the day of transcending finality, which is the end of part 1 this arc. I'm excited to get through it. So like obviously I know 1.5 exists. So like the Hyperion crew and all these characters aren't going anywhere just yet. I say just yet as if this isn't gonna take us like 20 hours to finish. So I don't know like if this is like the wrap up of the story, or if it continues on into this and then obviously goes into part 2 eventually. But yeah, we're gonna start off with the EX chapter, Project Stigma. I don't know how long this is. It being Project Stigma would make me think that Seal is actually gonna be in this, because she has a stigma, but it's also probably going to be a lot of Kevin, which I'm also down for. Oh, Raven's here. Oh, okay, I think Sheila might be here. I don't fucking remember the voices. No, I remember some of them. It's gonna take me a minute to get back to the Hyperion crew voices. It's been so long. I don't know who this is yet, so I'm just gonna read normally. I remember clearly. This just might be Raven. That night, I happened to walk to the window and looked up at the starry sky. I suddenly had a strange feeling, as if I wasn't looking up into the sky, but the sky was looking down at me. As with the tens of thousands of nights that had gone by, the cold starry sky looked down at the man who was just as cold. The starry sky was unfathomable. So was the man. He was unfeeling and outside the cycle. In the eyes of his followers, he was like a will formed by a vacuum. Sire. Sire. I'm listening. Jackal told me to report that his project has passed validation testing. I can read, I fucking swear. Awaiting instructions. The man eyed the mercenary in front of him in silence, as if this was their first meeting. She tensed up. Or the children settled. Okay, so this is present. This is after Raven moved to the new building. She could not believe her ears. She had never imagined that her sire would ask her about them. I made a camp. Okay, it's during it at least. I made a camping plan for them. They're looking forward to the starry sky. It'll be worth their wait. As usual, the man's words were emotionless. It awakened her to how wishful her thinking was. An owl in the distance hooted untimely. It reminded her of a gray serpent's funeral. At that time, she silently watched the remains that somewhat resembled corpses being systematically dismantled into a heap of featureless mechanical parts by a group of micro-robots. You're finally starring the Star Rail story. Good. 3.0 was really good. I liked it a lot. I'm a big fan of Finan so far, even outside of him being a Kevin.
渡りガラス。鳥はなぜ飛ぶと思う？
Why do you
君
think
の意
birds
見を
can
聞かせて
fly?
くれ。
Sorry, at least I'm okay. So you did fully catch up with ZZ. Nice, nice, nice. How'd you like it, Hope? Nonsensical question. Yet the sire had never spoken nonsensically to the mercenary's knowledge. She must answer it honestly, despite the confusion.
私個人の意見としては、
If you're asking for
鳥
my
はもとも
opinion,
と飛ぶことができま
I
す。
think birds are born to fly.
だから、
So there's no why.
なぜなんて疑問
Man,
は存在
Hoyo
しないで
really
しょう。
loves its why do birds fly stuff. At least now I know I won't feel bad about skipping Astra by Needle even more. See, I ended up liking Astra a lot more. I'm glad I rolled her, but I understand at the same time. He remained silent. Perhaps that answer did not satisfy him.
君は間違っていない。
You're not wrong,
だが渡りガラス。
but Raven, would you tell those children the same?
いいえ、あの子たちはそんな答えなど望んでいませんから。
In front of them,
鳥は飛びたいから
I would
飛
tell them
べ
that
たんだ。
birds fly because they want to fly.
それは鳥たちが切り開いた運命の。
僕もそうであるように望んでいるよ。
To quote an NPC in the story, too bad. I actually like the prideful and aloof type more. I don't know, I like the chaos that she brings. Raven noticed his gaze. Obviously, he was not just saying it to her. It suddenly dawned on her that perhaps the whole seemingly impulsive conversation was so. Kevin gazed beyond her and into the distance. It was empty, except for the boundless starry sky. Okay, I was gonna say, so we left off with May, like, kind of getting ready to leave World Serpent.
渡りガラス、何か私に話したいことでもある。
Up from the underground base to a lifeless surface, then along the shepherd's path into the ruined city. After a long silence, the Hersher of Thunder, who was no longer a member of World Serpent, spoke.
さあな。
Who knows? Raven
この
shrugged.
先には
Shixel's
天命と
territory
の
is
境
up
界
ahead.
線がある。
I figured out what to say.
本
I
当
never
に
said
お
it.
前に何かを伝えたいなら、とっくに話をしているさ。
I feel like they could have done more with May in World Serpent. Specifically because, like, the whole reason she went to World Serpent in the first place was Kevin promised her a way to, like, help Kiana. But that plot kind of got dropped, like, immediately, because by becoming the Hersher of Thunder, she stopped Kiana from dying immediately. Kiana has gained, like, more control over her powers than ever. She's reconciled with Sirin. And not that, like, May wasn't involved in that, but May as a member of World Serpent wasn't really involved with that. All she really did in World Serpent was get permission to go to the Elysian realm and, like, interact with the owl storyline. I just feel like we definitely could have gotten more on that.
クーちゃんたちは元気な
What's
の
Thor
よ
and
ね。
the others doing?
もちろん。
Of course,
というより、
actually,
むしろ
I think they have
少
too
し
much energy
元
to
気すぎ
burn.
るくらいだ。
That's not how you would translate that. Like, there's a lot of implied stuff, I feel like. Like, it's implied that these two have gone on several missions together when we've only seen, like, one. I don't know, I would have enjoyed more of that, I think. We also know of, like, 4 living World Serpent members. Because Owl's dead. Raven, Jackal, Grey Serpent, and Kevin are really it. Like, they didn't explore the world serpent like at all, which is kind of disappointing. I want to know what a cult around Kevin is like.
この間なんか別荘に帰ったら壁紙にいろんな落書
The
きがあ
last
った
time
な。
I went back, the wallpaper was
そ
covered
の
in
中に
scribbles.
地面に転がって
Among
る
them was
棒
a
人
stick
間がい
figure
て、
rolling on the floor,
それ
and
が
they said it
私
was
だっ
me.
てあの子と
I remember
機
to
会が
visit
あっ
them
た
when
ら
you have the
また
chance.
顔を出すと
Thor
いう。
really likes you.
約
You
束
have
する
my
わ。
word.
ところで
Anyway,
店名や
have
ネ
you
ゲントロピ
contacted
ーの
anyone
方
at
に
Shixel or
連絡は
Anti-Entropy?
まだよ。
Not yet.
直接
It's
会
not
って
face to
話す場
face.
面じゃな
I
けれ
don't
ば。
even know what to say.
おや
Oh
こうい
my.
う時だけ
You're acting
ま
like an
た
heiress
昔の
again.
はいはい冗談はやめておこう。
No more joking around.
ここまで
I've
送ってきた
accompanied
が
you long enough.
これからの道は
You'll
お
be
前一
finishing
人
the
で
path
歩くことに
alone.
な。先に失礼するぞ。
I'll
孫子
get going.
自らに指
I
名さ
still
れ
have
た
many
任務が
missions
まだ
assigned
山
by
ほど
himself
残って
on
るんで
hand.
待って。
Wait,
今、
Kevin personally
ケビン
assigned
が
missions
自
to you?
らあなた。
想像できない。
I know that sounds crazy. However, I wouldn't dare belittle myself in
だ
front
が
of the
と
sire.
にかく
In
今の
short,
私の
my
手に
hands are
は
full with dirty
汚い
jobs.
仕事がい
I
っぱいな
can't
んだ。
force them on Grey Serpent.
汚い仕事。
Dirty jobs. I hear that show was pretty alright. It kind of stopped in like the mid 2010s as far as I know. Haven't heard of Micro in years.
いや、お前が思って
They're
るよう
not
な
what
も
you
のじゃ
think
ないぞ。
there. They're legit,
なんというか、
neighbor. That was
ちゃ
kind
ん
of
と
the whole
した
point of
肉
the
体
show,
労
actually, to
働っ
like
てところだ。
show that people need to do these jobs and they're impressive in their own right.
ますます怪しく聞こえてるわ。
That sounds more suspicious.
なんだ。
What?
組織の一
You're
員
not
じゃ
part
な
of
く
the
なったっていう
organization
のに。
anymore. You just don't care about our business.
冗談を言ってるわけじゃないのよ。渡り
I'm
ガ
not
ラス。
kidding, Raven.
もともと
Kevin has
何
been
かを急
acting
いでるよう
hastily
な
and
ケビンの行動
strangely.
に違和
You
感
know,
を覚えて
going,
たの。
going back
この
obviously
まま
won't help
何
me
もわ
the
からない
least.
おお。
Oh,
そ
then
れ
what do
で
you want to
ど
do?
うする？
あなたを尾行するわ。渡
I'll
りガラ
stalk
ス。
you, Raven. Openly.
へえ。
Oh. Teresa.
ハイペリオン起動変更
Hyperion completed orbital maneuver. Relay signal tracking stable.
本艦は
Ship entering the lunar orbit. Main engines off to the moon. I mean, we had to go to the moon at some point.
よくやったわ愛ちゃん
Good job, Icon. Please put me through to the Salt Lake Base's command center.
了解やっほー学園長
I don't remember my Kiana voice. I think actually what I was doing there was my Kiana voice. Hi, Principal.
キアナ
I don't remember what I did for these two. Kiana? I'm probably just gonna do the same voice. I can't.
朝ごはんを済ま
I'm
せた後
surprised. I just finished breakfast and saw Dr. Einstein after a shift to the command center after Dr. Tesla, so I followed her
こん
here.
にちは、テレサさん。
Hello, Madam
うま
Teresa.
くいっているようだね。
Things looking well.
ええおか
All
げさま
thanks to
で
you. Before setting out, I never intended you to equip Hyperion with a gravity simulator.
お礼ならブローニャに行ってくれ。
You thank Bronya for that.
エデンの星
He
の
helped Dr.
製品
Tesla
を利
develop
用
a
した
system that provides regional gravity by utilizing a replica of the Star of Eden.
協力してくれた。
So I mean, even in outer space, it'll feel like a regular flight? Okay. I thought she was battle braining already.
ええおかげ
If
で
you
大
ask
気
me,
圏を飛ぶ
he'll be
今
more
までの
stable
ハ
in
イ
the
ペリオンより
atmospheric
も
flights in the
ずっ
old
と平穏
Hyperion.
だったわ
I slept so well last night that I
ゆう
felt
べは
like I was
セー
back
フ
in
レイ
St.
の
Freya's
職員
faculty
寮に戻っ
dormitory.
た
お
Thank you
褒
for
め
the
に預かり
compliment.
光栄だ。ネゲントロピーの前身。
Although the predecessor of Anti-Entropy, the North American branch of Shixel, was founded by Miss Nancy Edison, who championed civilian use.
エデン
This
の
is actually our first attempt at developing the civilian functions of the Star of Eden.
エデンの星
Star of Eden.
ブローニャが教えてくれた
Brandon
んだ
told me
けど
that played a huge role in Anti-Entropy's
ネゲントロピー
separating
の
from
天命から
Shixel.
独立した
Is that
時
right,
に
Doctor?
フリーダムトレイルに沿っている。
Follow the Freedom
そして
Trail.
夜中
Then
に
visit
歴神
Lexington
島を
at
訪
midnight.
れろ。
Indeed, without the Star of Eden,
確かに
even if
エデンの
Anti-Entropy was
星
a
がなかっ
thing,
たら
it'd never
ネ
grow
ゲ
to
ント
its
ロピ
present
ーは今の
size.
天命と戦っていた頃のネゲン
Although
トロ
back
ピー
in
の目
time
的
when
は
Anti-Entropy
最大
competed
の
with
脅威とは
Shixel,
行動
our
しない
principle
こ
can
と
be summarized
の
as
一言に
the
まと
best
められ
threat
る
is
が
inaction.
そういう脅威に有効的なのは
But the efficacy of this deterrence must be built on winning the first battle.
戦っても
At the
僕
very
たちを
least,
全滅
we
さ
had to
せるこ
convince
とは
Shixel
で
that
き
they
ない
weren't
と
capable of starting a
当時
full-fledged
の
war and
天命に
destroying
信じ
us.
ても
だからベルトは
That's why Mr.
断りの
Yang
リ
had
ッ
to
チ
borrow
の
the power
力
of
で
the
変
Herrscher of
装して
Reason to
発動してた
disguise
んだよ
himself.
ね
It isn't
あ
easy to
の
pull
オッ
that
トーを
out
騙
of.
すのは簡単なことじゃないもの
Had to borrow the power of the Herrscher of Reason? Is that meaning like when he first became the Herrscher of Reason?
ああでもどちらかというと
Thanks
あ
to
の
our
極めて難しい
thanks to the
形
fitness of our
勢の中
teacher,
で
Professor
ネゲン
Plank,
トロピーが
that
徐々
our
に立ち上
entropy
がっ
was
てい
able to
くこ
gain a
とができ
foothold
た
in
のは
that extremely
フランク
volatile
教授がいて
situation.
くれ当時の僕たちは
I
教
need
授
to
を
read
頼
the
りすぎてしまって
anti-entropy visual novel.
だから彼
Perhaps this
女が
also made us
突如こ
dependent
の世を
on
去
her.
った後
So much so
ネ
that
ゲ
her
ントロ
sudden
ピーが
passing
非
through
常に
entire
混
entropy
乱
and
し
the
た
chaos.
すまないテレサさん
Sorry, Madam
気づ
Teresa.
いたら昔
Going
話
off on
に
a
夢中
tangent
になっ
about
て
the
しまっ
bygone
て
days.
構わないわ
That's fine. It's beneficial for us to hear you analyze history from anti-entropy's perspective.
断りのリッチャ
The authorities of the Herrscher of Reason and the Herrscher of the Void both have great possibilities. If we can combine the experience of anti-entropy and Shixel, I believe we can further strengthen ourselves as a team.
チームとして
Okay,
もっとパワーアップできるわ
so also, question, now that, Otto's gone and Teresa is, the director of Shixel, are Kiana and Bronya still working with anti-entropy, or are they back with Shixel?
確かに
I'm sure they will tell me
そういえば
directly at
長
some
光
point.
さんもエデンの
Right
星
now, I
に
don't
とて
know
も
that
興
there's
味があるよう
really
だ
a particular difference,
彼女の実験室と情報を
but it's a
共有し
question worth
共に
asking.
第9の神の鍵の可能性を探ろうと考
Sure.
えている
Take the Star of Eden, for example. Miss Nargamitsu is intrigued by it, so we're happy to share information and discuss the possibilities of the Nice Divine Key with her lab.
それってつまり
Which means we may see a different Star of
全く
Eden
違
soon.
うエデンの星が見られるかもしれないってこと
We also... I'm interested in what that they're focusing so much on the Star of Eden here, where they're going to go with it, because I know where the Star of Eden ends up. It ends up in Star Rail, because Welt still has it. I don't think it's I guess it could be a replica if they're making them here, but I think he has the real one.
あその可能性
It's
は
possible.
各プロジェクトの進捗とともに
Another
協力レベ
collaboration
ルも上がってき
advances.
ている
Our synergy is also improving.
願望として
I think
エ
there's
ジ
a
ソン
lot
が
of
かつて考えてた
I think there's a lot of prospect that will eventually realize the Selene project envisioned by Miss Nancy.
だから
So
キアナ
Kiana, you want to watch
せ
our
っかく
space
の機
trail?
会だし
You don't get this
僕たち
chance
の
every
計画
day.
によると今
We're
日は
practicing
新
deep
宇宙
space
攻
gunnery
撃と
and extra
艦外戦闘
vehicular
が
combat
2つ
today.
面白
That
そう
sounds fun. I'd
でも
love to.
後で
But I
バルキ
need
リ
to
ーの
attend
機動
mobile
戦術の
tactics
訓練
training
が
for
あるから
Valkyries
あ
later.
らデュランドリーは
Oh,
ね
is it Durandal?
最
I
近
heard
彼
she's
女も
taking you all
様々な
taking you to all
バルキリー
kinds
の
of
訓練
systematic
にあ
Valkyrie
なたを連
trainings
れて行く
and
だ
has
けだ
tailored
か
a
ら
strict training program for you.
天命最強
Yeah,
のバルキ
Shixel's
リー
strongest Valkyrie.
本当に優し
Such
く
a
て
wonderful and powerful
すごい
person,
もう
but
少し
I hope
訓
she
練
can
量
turn
も
down
優
the
しく
crazy
してくれ
volume.
たらいいのにははって言ってる場合じゃないわよ
That's Durandal you're talking about. You better forget about slacking off. The two continued to chat until Shixel's Hestia landed on the landing pad in the Salt Lake base. Kiana waved goodbye.
よかったわね
Ah, nice.
ああ長空市にいた
Compared
頃
to
と
herself
比
in
べたら
Nagasawa half a year
まる
ago,
で別
she's a
人の
different
ようだ
person. Yeah, Kiana's gone through a lot and has grown as a character significantly.
若者の成長は早いからねあっという間に
That's our Japanese
親もびっくりするくらい
girl. They
大
mature
人
before
にな
their
るんだ
parents
から
know it.
ところで愛ちゃん
Speaking of which, Ai-chan, how's the gym preparations going?
ハイペリオンはいつでも行動可
I'm
能
just
だ
giving
よ
her the ginger voice. Hyperion, standing by! Great.
では
So I'll repeat
今日の演
today's
習
drill.
計画僕たちが決めた計画書にあるよう
As
に
we've pointed out in our
今
plan,
回の演習の目的は
this drill is
ハイ
designed to
ペリ
test
オン無人
Hyperion's
化
deep
回
space
収後
crew
の新宇
systems
宙巡航
and
システ
fully
ムを
automated combat system
全
after
自
the
動作戦
unmanned
システムを
upgrade
検証
and improve our
そして
combat
我
command
々の
ability in the
演習
process.
スケジュールによると
According to the schedule, today's main exercises are deep space gunnery, extravehicular combat, and electromagnetic
前日
silent
で
running.
まずは単独で訓練
We'll
を
first
行
do
い
individual exercises, and then
科目
test
同士の連携
cross-exercise
能力を検
coordination.
証
じゃあ艦外戦闘か
Let's
ら
start with
始
the
めましょう
extravehicular combat
愛ちゃん
exercises.
はその後の
Ai-chan
2
can
つの科
prepare for
目
the
に
two following
対して
exercises in
どうやら
advance. Madame Teresa is quite enthusiastic about it.
後輩たちが成
I'm
長して
happy
い
to
く
see our
姿を
genius
見
make
て
progress,
先
but we
輩と
can't let them
してた
surpass
だ
us
干さ
that
れるの
easily,
を黙
can
って
we?
見てる
Indeed. An elder can regain teenage vigor. We're all young at heart. Einstein, you're like over 100 years old. So how do we
一
breathe
般
out
人
here?
が着用する宇宙服は非常に
There we
重い
go. Because the spacesuits for regular people are extremely bulky, only Herschel's Mantis and Stigma Awakened are capable of agile
宇
combat
宙
in
で
outer
臨
space.
床
Never
に
mind.
戦えるの
They
それ
did
と
not actually answer me.
無重力状態での考え活動は
Do they
自
just
身
not need
の
to
動く
breathe?
方向をコントロールするのが
If
難
if
しい
you're like a Hersher or
そ
have
の
a
ため
Stigma?
重力模擬装置もそういう作
Additionally,
戦に必要
personnel
な条
outside
件
the
の
cabin
一つとなる
0G would have difficulty directing their movements, so gravity simulators are also required for such
しかし
operations.
それらの難
Even
題
if
を
the
全
above
部解
obstacles
決
are
したとして
overcome,
も
we still can't
僕
change
た
the
ちは
extreme cold in
だ
outer
から
space.
作戦スタッフ
That
が
requires the combatant,
つまり
which is you, Madame
テレサさん
Teresa, to stay close to the
行動中に
pre-installed thermal
あらかじ
radiator
め
in action.
現時
Alright,
点
it's
の
the
練
hot
習
cold
条件
mechanics
において
again.
は訓
Under
練
the
用機構
requirements
を
of this
仮想的
rehearsal,
にするし
we
か
can
ない
only prepare these training machines to act as our make-believe enemies.
長光さんの実験がうまくいけばもしかしたらより良
If
い
Miss
ターゲットを
Nagamitsu's
実践訓
experiments
練
go
に
smoothly
導
in
入
the
できるか
future,
もしれない
we might be able to improve targets of higher standards in
テ
our
スラ
trial
博士
battle.
はそれに興味津々で
Dr. Tesla is very
演
interested
練相
in
手
this.
にあらかじめ
She
名
even
前
thought
を
of
用意
names
し
for
た
our
くらい
potential
だ
opponents in this rehearsal.
テスカトリポカからウィツィロポチトリまで
I cannot. I'm not trying.
名前
I only know how to say Quetzalcoatl because of, like, seeing them for very long periods of time. I know one of those, like, is a character in Fate right now, but I haven't played Fate for real in forever. Or Grand Order. I'm going to do terrible for a while. I'm still getting used to the new controller. I was talking about this with a friend yesterday. I've been using PlayStation controllers since the PlayStation 4 came out. And like switching to an Xbox controller, like it's fine. I'm getting the hang of it easily and I'm getting used to it, but it is a very different shape. It is a very different feeling.
お疲れ様テレサさん
Good work, Madame
館内
Teresa.
に戻って
Return
し
to
ば
the
らく
cabin
休
and
憩
rest
して
for
く
now.
れ
We should take a break
後
before
ほど
continuing with the
他の
rehearsal.
演習科目を再開しよ
I would like to go faster. Teresa, are you in a fucking heel? Why is everyone in heels? I hate character designs where it's like, yeah, you're gonna fight in heels. No.
やっぱ
Stop
り
it.
館内が一番居心地いいわね
Ha, cabin, see cabin.
愛ちゃん
Hey,
冷蔵庫
Chan,
にゴー
is
ヤ
there
ジュ
melon
ー
juice
ス
in
は
the
まだいっ
fridge?
ぱいあるよ
There's a
テレ
lot,
サ館
Captain
長
Teresa.
で
But
さっきの高校
just
に
now our
少し
sailing
問
ran
題
into a
がある問
problem.
題
Problem?
ここを見て
Please look here.
今朝から
The actual classified period has been deviating from the theoretically
理論
predicted
的予
course
測
since
値
this
そう
morning.
いうズレは最
At
初は
first, this
かすかな
deviation
も
was
ので
negligible,
正常
almost
で
identical
自
to
然な
normal
変動と
fluctuations.
大して変わらな
But
か
for
っ
the
た
past half hour,
でも
which is the
30
rightmost part
分
of the
前から
chart,
ズレが系統
this
的なもの
deviation
にな
has
ってる上
become
に
systematic
ズ
and
レ
increased
値
in
値
value.
って
Are you
そうい
saying
ったズレが
this
ハイ
deviation
ペリ
is
オンの
affecting
正常
cruising
な
of
巡航に
Hyperion?
今のところ手動で進路
I
を
can
調
solve
整
this
すれ
problem
ば
by
こ
manually
の問
correcting
題
the
を
heading.
解決できる
However, if it
で
persists,
も
it would pose a
それは
safety
最悪
hazard.
の場合ハイ
In
ペ
the
リオンは
worst
極
case scenario,
めて危
Hyperion
険な
would be
状
in
態に
critical
陥るかも
danger.
し
Back to me. At the edge of the Sahara Desert, Maeve's stalking plan is going
渡りガ
smoothly.
ラス
Raven,
こんな
are you
電波も
sure
飛ん
someone
でない
associated
ような
with
場
the
所
World
で
Serpent needs a phone
夜
delivered in
分
a
ガン
place
ド
to
関
give
連の
signal.
スタ
ほら
Yeah,
自分で
do
見て
your
み
own
るといい
research. Raven tossed the unopened box to
こ
May.
の箱に一体
What's in
何
this
が入ってる
box?
さあな
Who knows?
私の意見が聞きたい
If
な
you're
ら
asking my opinion,
ただの
I
ス
think
マ
it's
ホだ
really a
と思
phone
う
that
ぞ
can be delivered by any courier.
一般の配送業者に
You want
渡しても問
The listener took it literally. May tossed the box back to Raven. And in that interval, her left hand gripped the sheath at her side. At her side, it was one of the standard stances of Hokushin Ito Ryu. I assume that's like the style that her family practices. A slash. When the box was back in Raven's hands, it had split in two. Of course, Raven's glove and the phone inside were undamaged. The smell of ozone lingered in the air, proving that the Hersher of Thunder had used her
確
authority.
かに普通のスマホね。
And it's really just a phone.
電磁場にも
And
変わっ
that
たところは
magnetic
ない
field
が
didn't detect anything funny.
箱は弁償するか
I
ら。
can pay for the box.
私はもうヨル
I'm
ム
no
ガンダ
longer
の
a
一
member
員
of
では
World
ないんだ
Serpent,
し。
so I don't need to play by its
わざわざ
rules.
本音を言うと
I can relate
今
to
なら
Cosmo
コズマの
now.
気持ちがだがライデンメイあらかじめ言っておくが
But May, be
私にも
forewarned
職
that I
業
have
倫理というものが
professional ethics.
もうヨルムンガンドの一員じゃないと
You
お
admitted you're
前
not one
が
of
そう
us
認
anymore,
めたなら
so I'm not telling you anything
私
else.
でも
But you look
手
like
が
you
か
want
り
to
を
keep
教え
certain
るこ
leads
と
for
を
me,
拒ん
from me. Raven
Sana.
shrugged. Who knows?
たまた
Maybe
ま
it's
同
because
じ
we
場所
couldn't
にい
avoid
て
each other for months
今
and
ま
got
での数
acquainted.
かライデンメイ
May. May felt Raven had something to say. Her intuition was right, but she did not expect what she would hear. I'll tell
Yappari.
you.
教
Actually,
えて成婚計画は
Project Stigma
もう
is
完成
complete in a
していると
sense.
言える
How many people are gonna die?
今なんて言っ
What
た
did you say?
だから
I'm saying,
具体的
although
な
I don't
状
know
況や
specifics,
原理はわから
I'm
ない
likely
が
doing the finishing work on Project
今は
Stigma.
正直に言うと
Honestly, I was
そう言わ
surprised
れ
when I
た
was
時
told
は
so. My
私も
face was
驚いた
exactly like yours.
おかしいわ
That doesn't make
研
sense.
究士の後
World Serpent hasn't
ヨル
conducted
ムガ
any
ンドは
large
大
scale
規模な
experiments
実
in
験を
Dark
していな
City.
い
I thought Kevin was just
ケビンは
preparing
た
to
だ
act.
その考えが
That's
私
our
たちの
blind
盲
spot.
点
盲点
Blind spot?
どういう
Has
こと
Jackal given up on human
ジャッ
experiments?
カルが人
Or
体
was
実験
Grey
を諦
Serpent
めた
devoting himself to charity?
それ
ウサギだ
It's hair.
ウサギ
Hair.
この名前を聞い
You've
たこ
heard
と
of
があ
that
るだ
name,
ろう
right? We have heard of it a few times.
名前くらいだけどね
And that's it.
問題ない私も
It's
似たよう
okay.
なものだから
I'm
な
not much better.
ハイヘビの話によると
According to Grey Serpent,
Jackal
while Jackal was
が色々
trying,
試してた。
Hair was rearranging the
ウ
blueprint
サ
of
ギも
Project
彼
Stigma
女な
her
りとして
way.
私が話したように今計画は全体
As I
的
said,
に
the
最
project
後
has
の
reached
一
its
歩と
final
いうところ
stage.
それで彼女は一体
So what
何
did
を
she
したの
say? I do think it's interesting that like we're getting to the moon segments and they're introducing a rabbit character. Or like that's her code name. Because obviously, you know, Japan is all the moon rabbit, moon bunnies. I wonder if they're gonna connect or if it's just a coincidence.
百聞は一見にしかずって
Like
やつだ
by that I mean, because obviously it's
もう
intentional.
少しでわかると思うぞ
But by that I mean, like, did they just choose hair because for whatever, or is it that she's going to be connected to the moon? They're going to be doing this on the moon. Is like the moon's important, but is that directly tied to hair? Seeing is believing. You're about to find out. Raven counted a mess of number signs along the road and quickened her pace. 1982, 1983, 1984. After Raven knocked on the door, an old man in a jalaba? I've never seen that word before. Came out of a ramshackle yard and took the phone from her. He put on a Bluetooth headset deftly and dialed a number on the phone. He then slid the phone into his pocket without a word and went to sit on a concrete pier in the yard.
何をしているの
What's he doing?
夢を待ってるんだ
Waiting to dream.
夢を
Dream?
ああ文
Yes,
字通りの
literally.
夢だ
With World Serpent's technology, he can dream anytime, anywhere.
でも
But what
それ
does
は
that have to
成
do
婚
with
計画
Project
と
Stigma?
何の関係があるの
What is this Pentaconing ass bullshit?
そう焦るな
Be
すぐに
patient.
わかるさ
You'll see it soon enough. The old man, sitting on a concrete pier in the yard, had closed his eyes and began to snore. His body was gradually enveloped by a purple fluorescent light, and vanished in the next instant. A physical entity, a living human, lost his unitarity in the real space due to some perplexing technology that was closer to magic. This is
彼の夢は成婚
his
空
dream
間と
fused
一
with the
体化
stigma
した
space. That's what Hair
そ
told
れ
me.
がウサギの言い分
You're
だ
Hersher. Maybe you can validate that. Validate?
お前はさっき
Didn't you
私
validate
が
the phone
彼
I
に
gave
渡し
him?
た
私は雷
I'm
の
the
律
Hersher
者
of
よ
Thunder, not the Hersher of
式の律者
Sentience.
そうだったか
Oh, yeah.
だが
If you don't
つ
follow
い
up,
て
you
こない
lose
なら
me. Raven walked to where the old man was. She took out her phone and swung it twice, and a familiar-looking space door appeared out of nowhere.
私を尾行するんだろ
Aren't you stalking me?
この
This
扉は
phone
10
will
分
la-
ほ
this
ど
door will
存在
last
する
about 10 minutes. If you still want
ついてき
to,
たいなら
be my
そ
guest.
れと後始末
And I'll
も
leave the
頼ん
cleanup
だ
of
ぞ
this place to you. Is this actually a new area, or was this in... No, this was in the Durandal Escape chapters. Or the Kiana Escape chapters. Oh, I'm so tired of Nihility Seeds. For hundreds of days and nights, similar space doors were almost part of May's life. I was gonna say, how are they opening these? Because the Cosmic Juggernaut is in Shixel's control. The Hersher of the Void is Kiana. Like, what? How are they opening these doors? During that journey towards the past, they stood erect and silent, like pairs of weathered eyes, observing the joys and sorrows across 50,000 years. But now this species door only made May feel an emotionless hollow. Anyhow, staying put is meaningless. Well, Serpent, tell me what you want to do. Back to Terry. We deployed the satellites of anti-entropy and Shixel and inspected the current orbit of Hyperion. The conclusion is that your surrounding space is perfectly normal. Strange. The autopilot system calibrates fine as well. What could cause the ship to keep deviating from its set course? Could the ship's power have gone wrong mechanically? That's unlikely. Did you forget that the core power system of Hyperion has been fully upgraded with programmable Solium? If it had a problem, I'd have detected it. That might be the reason. Huh? You mean Solium? I can't believe Otto is alive in the Solium and is in control of the Hyperion now. Programming, to be precise. If an interfering signal is mistakenly received by Solium as a command, then the actual response of the mechanical system might deviate from the anticipated response of the control system. If the source of the interference signal isn't under control, then deviation will continue to increase. Madam Teresa, considering Hyperion can't auto-troubleshoot in deep space, I suggest you terminate the drill immediately and turn back. You can dock its anti-entropy space station in the Earth orbit to have Hyperion maintained. I guess there's no way around it. Turning back now is disappointing. You can't risk our lives. Hey John, follow the emergency evacuation solution in the drill plan and return to base. However, remain on the bridge to provide necessary... I need to be honest, I totally thought drill was referring to, like, actually drilling, not, not like a test run. I'm stupid. You got the Castorus. How are you liking Rice? And also, do you agree with my statements? When Teresa got up from the captain's seat while giving orders to Ai-chan, she suddenly felt terribly dizzy. Extreme fatigue hit her without warning, and made her faint instantly. Stage 3... hello, okay. Around 50,000 years ago. I quit. I just can't beat you at this game. Oh, is that so? I think if you want, you have a million ways to beat me, Mobius. Such as a stone chip for this in your brain. Is that your favorite thing to do, Vilvi? Oh, you're right. On the other hand, you really hate to fail. Unironically, your project Stigma was scrapped so many times. That's not my plan. It's only slow in coming because May was constantly altering the definition of purging Honkai. She loves definitions, doesn't she? Remember that presentation of 5 parallel truths? I don't think the audience understood a word she said. Now, is that May? What matters most is you got it. And the Vilvi in front of you should have gotten it mostly.
なら全体報告で話す必要なんかないでしょ。
That was a plenary presentation held at the auditorium
必死
behind
に
you.
微積文学を理
Seeing
解
Eldon
し
racking
よう
his
とす
brain
る
like he was trying to
小学生
understand
みたいな
calculus with
顔
elementary math made me feel sorry
ど
for
うして
him.
崩壊を定義し
Why
ない
must
と
we
いけない
define Honkai?
それを
Wouldn't it be more
原始的な概
convenient to
念
regard it as a primitive
人
concept
類
and
を
define
定義した
humanity
方
instead?
法
Hmm?
ウィルビー
Vilvi, he didn't
今
speak. The con artist who could barely hold her laughter only shrugged in reply.
別にアーウィンたちに
I'm not trying to get people like Elton to understand
ゼータ関数のような概念を理解してもらおう
concepts
とは
such
思
as
っ
the
て
zeta
ないわ。
function. Even Sue needs a lot of
触
time
れ
to
た
gain
こと
knowledge
が
in a
ない
new
知識
field.
でもあの
But
時
there's
は
one thing that should have been done
それ
then.
は
That was to
崩壊
make
は
everyone
理
realize
解
that
できないほど
Honkai
神秘
isn't
的
so
なものじゃない
mysterious
っ
as to
て
be
みんな
incomprehensible,
に意識させること
simply too complicated.
きっと崩壊を定義することは
I believe
人類
defining
を定義する
Honkai
ことよりずっ
is
と
far
簡単
easier
だっ
than
て
defining humanity.
私はそう信じてるわ
Not that current May isn't pretty, but Dr. May is so pretty.
やあこんばんはメイ博士
Ah, good evening, Dr. May.
こんばんは
Good
指揮者
evening, conductor.
この匂いまたカップ麺を晩ご飯にしたの
He
ね
treats instant noodles for dinner again.
な
So what? Doesn't
そっ
anyone in
ち
your
にだって
family like instant
カップ
noodles?
麺
There
でも
is. But he
他に
promised me
選
to
択肢
only
があ
eat
るとき
instant
は
food when there's no
自
other
ら
option.
そん
Don't
な
fall like
話は
that to
聞いて
me.
いないわ
Did you come for the 15th
正確
revision
な
of the
バージョン
plan?
15を取りに
I
来た
just
んですよ
uploaded it to the server. You
今サー
download
バ
it
ーにアップ
yourself.
ロードメビウス
Mobius,
その姿に
since
な
you
ってから
assumed this form,
あ
you've
なた
gotten
は
much
随分
grumpier.
とどうして急にその話になっ
When
た
did that begin to concern
仕
you?
事に関し
The
て大
ability
事
to
な
get things done that
何かを
counts.
するこ
Have
と
you
自
sunk to
体です
judging luck?
どうやら彼
I
女
think
も
she
あ
needs
な
all
たの
magic
マジッ
shows,
クショーを
Vilvi.
見て
わかったよ
Great.
今度私
I'll
が
be
マジ
sure
ッ
to
クショーを
invite
す
her
る
next time I perform.
まあいいわ
Fine.
これ以
Pairing
上
is
お
a
しゃ
waste
べ
of
りして
time.
て
It's
時
rare
間
for
の無
us
駄
to
に
get
すで
together.
に15回も変わ
This
っ
is
て
a
い
good
る
time to discuss the project statement that's been revised 15 times.
本当のこと
Seriously, May.
をあなたは言っ
Which side are you
ど
on?
ちら
彼
Huh?
女は今
And she's standing
私
next
の
to
そば
me.
ビルビー
Vilvi.
まあまあ
Oh, come on, that was a
ただの冗談だ
joke.
から
I know your question's serious. That was such an uncomfortable hand posture. Don't worry about it. Vilvi threw a spinning top onto the table meaningfully. She's playing
だ
Beyblade.
からこそ場を和
That's why
ら
I'm
げる
gonna
必要
ease
があ
up
る
on it more than ever.
そう
He did not elicit a response. The top spun lonesomely on the smooth table. A long time seemed to have passed, but the top showed no signs of stopping. Until May pressed it to a stop. This made Mobius realize that only a few seconds had elapsed.
メビウス
Mobius,
私
I
は
only stand with
文明
civilization.
側にしかあのじいさんたちと話す時の話術
A
を使うつもり
cliche
な
to
の
shut those farts up. I'd hate to stress something as stupid as I'm your senior.
バカバカこの話をしてる
But now that we're touching this topic,
メイ
Dr.
あなたに
May,
は説明
you're
する義
obligated
務
to
が
explain what you want to achieve with this
な
plan.
るほど
I see.
私が成婚計画
In
に
your opinion, I'm
尋常
obsessed
じゃ
with
ないほ
Project
どの
Sigma.
当たり前でしょ
Oh, listen to
あな
yourself.
たはすでに
You forced me
計
to,
画書を
to revise
15
this
回
plan
も直させてい
15
る
times. 15 times.
成功率が最も高い
As
解
a
決
solution
策
with
と
the high
して
success
真
rate,
剣に
it
扱う
deserves
価値
to
があ
be
る計
taken
画だから
seriously.
よ
We can never have too many
未来
entry
へと
points in
残
the
す
future
人
either.
本当にそうなの
Oh, really?
あの大
The
人気の
popular
ひらめき
Project Ember hasn't even
具
been
体
written
的
into
な
a
計画書
one-page
すらないあな
plan.
ただって知ってるはずよ
You know the attributes of the
あの計画
plan dictate that we
それ
implement
自
it more,
体の特
more
性のせい
specially.
で実行法そうかもしれないわね
Perhaps. But how can I not suspect that the other projects are only a foil to Project Stigma when they're treated so differently?
ふむ一
Oh,
つだけ
come
わ
on,
からない
won't
こと
say
が
I
あ
don't
るんだ
understand. Even if that's true,
どの経営が
isn't it you
本
who,
当にそう
who
だとし
proposed
ても
Project Stigma Mobius?
あの時
And
それを
imagine
唯
someone
一
would
の
see
希
it
望
as their
だと
only
考え
hope.
あなたにとっては確かに少し馬鹿げて
That
る
sounds
わね
ridiculous to you.
理解でき
I
るわ
completely understand that.
人類を
After
再
all,
定義す
there
る
are many
方法はい
ways
く
to
らでも
redefine
けど
humanity.
メビウス
But
博士
Dr. Mobius, humanity is only the cornerstone
文
of
明が誕
civilization.
生するあなただって否定しないでしょ
I don't think you'll deny that
人類
humans
は
are
所詮
essentially more
知恵を
intelligent
持った生き
survival
物に過
machines.
ぎない
We aren't
他の
fundamentally
植
different
物
from
動物
plants,
微
animals,
生
or
物と
microbes.
もっ
To
と
be more
正確に
precise, our mortal bodies are but
私たちの
vessels
体は
that are
遺
genes
伝
built
子
for
が自分
themselves.
だったら
So
何だ
what?
というの
Whether it's genetics or samsara, everyone has the potential to defy the
誰
creator.
文明それは本当
Civilization,
に
compared to the
具体的な誰
miracles
かが作っ
created
た
by
奇跡
specific humans, is
大事
something
なもの
even important.
でも 事実に
But
即して
technically
論じる
speaking,
なら
the vast majority
ポ
of
テン
humans
シャ
can
ルを引
realize
き出
that
せないの
potential.
が君自身という特例
It'd
を
be
基準に
arrogant
して
to
全
measure all
人
humans
類
by
を
a special
測る
case
な
of
んて
self-talk
あまりに
Mobius.
も傲慢だよメビウス
Didn't say can't. This is very clearly not. This is supposed to be can't. HI3 and your spelling mistakes. Welcome
メビウ
back.
ス博士、火を追うがの一員として
The Mobius,
私た
as
ちは
one of the
文明
mob,
全体に対して
you
責
and I
任
are
を取らな
ultimately
いといけない。
responsible for the whole of civilization.
その意味から考えると、個体の命よりも
In that sense,
命が
compared
もた
to the
ら
life
す
of
真
an,
理こそ
of
が
an individual,
より
the
本質
truth
的な
brought
存
forth
在
of
な
by
の。
life is a more essential
つ
existence.
まり誰
In
が
other
ビル
words,
ビーになっ
Bilby's
たとして
town,
も
while pulling the
ビ
Bilby's
ルビ
head
ー
down
の
today.
さあ言われて
Oh,
み
you
れば
can say
確か
that.
にそれはあなただけ
That's you. I don't plan on making another
もう
Mobius
一
to
人
replace
の
myself.
メビウスにとって代わられるつもりなんてないよ
That's very ironic. I don't know if ironic is the right answer, but she does end up making another Mobius to replace herself. Or, I guess I should say, a duplicated Mobius ends up replacing this Mobius.
大事なところはそこじゃないわ。
That's not important.
子供と親の関係で考えて
Think
み
about the
て。
relationship between children and parents.
子
Parents,
供と
Dr.
親の
Mobius.
精神世界が
Regardless
重
of
なり
whether
合
the
うかど
inner
うかは
worlds of two generations coincide,
人
the
類
unit
の文明
civilization is
は
continued by the next
親ごと
generation.
の親の意思とは
Regardless of whether
関
their
係なし
parents like it. It is said in a far north country stood a majestic mountain. It was thousands of miles long and hundreds of miles tall. Once in 1,000 years, a little bird would fly to its peak and sharpen its beak on it. When the whole mountain was worn away by this, the calendar known as eternity would flip to a new page. The heroes 50,000 years ago had long passed. The wound left by the finality seemed to have healed. The top on the smooth table. Time seemed to stand still. Or rather, like the factorials of the negative numbers, it had already crossed the pole at infinity in analytic continuation and was regressing in the direction opposite to the origin. Those sure are words.
あら、学園長、お昼寝の邪魔をしてしまいましたか？
Yo, Principal, did I interrupt your nap?
お
Yeah.
まだ寝ぼけてるみたいですね
You're。still asleep. Actually, I
実は
dozed off too.
私も先
Your
ほど仮
homeroom
眠を取
teacher's
りました。
exhausting.
姫子
Himiko,
私
Harry?
どうしました
What
か？
is it?
いいえ
No, I'm just
よ
confused.
くわからないの
Second ago, I was giving Earth an Hyperion, which is flying in deep space.
夢を見
It
た
must
の
be a
かしら
dream. That
面
sounds
白
fun.
そうな夢で
Ever
す
since
ね。
dreams are... What's the word?
そういえば私
They're
も
funny.
え
They
笑わない
can't
わよ
be.
それはどうでしょうね。
I see you in my dream.
受
How
け
did
持
my
ったクラ
class
スの子
grad?
たちが卒業
When I
し
left
て
to school, we had a big group hug. They're crying and
それ
laughing.
は考えてみたら
Isn't it normal?
よくあるこ
That
と
happens
じゃ
in
ない
every high school
で
graduation.
も担任になったの
That's
も
my first time being
生
a
徒たち
homeroom
が
teacher
卒
and
業
helping
するま
class
でずっと
graduate.
一緒。そう考えると
It's
結構
super
プレッシャー。
stressful.
そうよね
Hmm.
問
Your
題
students
児
are
だら
all
け
kind
だ
of
し
problematic. I really appreciate
そ
it.
んなことを言ってくださるなら
If you say that,
学園
Principal,
長
you gotta drink with me sometime. That depends on
それ
whether
は
you can
姫
drink
子が
bitter
ボーイ
melon
シを飲
wine.
めるかどうか
さすが学園長ですね。あ、待って。
Wait,
そういえば
you haven't returned the bottle
学
of
園長
wine
が
you
ご馳
seized
走
from
し
me
たワ
yet,
イン一
did
樽
you? Huh?
あれ
Oh,
ね
that
多く
barrel.
の木でできた樽
Okay,
でしょ
stay. Relax.
安心なさい。
I don't steal drinks.
誰かさんがそれを
But I
ウォー
can't
ター
stand
サーバ
someone
ーのよ
using
う
it
に
like a
使うのを
drinking
阻止して
fountain and making a
量
door
が
make
酒
of
の匂いで
alcohol.
満たされ
So
ないよう
you
にしな
say.
まあいいでしょう。
How about we get down to business,
学園長、
Principal?
本題に入りますね。
Here's a plan for this year's sports day. Every time someone says, let's get down to business, I have to resist the urge to say to defeat the Huns. A young redhead thumped down a stack of A4 papers in front of the principal. They bumped against the top that had been spinning freely on the desk, sending it flying towards the ground in a perfect curve. The top. The mysterious top. Teresa instinctively bent down to pick up the spinning top. But when she got up, there was nothing in front of her.
私
What just happened?
君は今己の潜在意識を打ち破ったんだよ。
You just broke a layer of your subconscious. Yep. Hi, Void Archives.
おじい様
Grandfather, why are you?
緊張しないでく
Don't
れ
be nervous. I'm just one of your subconscious and a reference point for your
君が
self-awareness.
自身を
maybe not.
理解できたかい
Did I make
喜ばし
myself
いことだよ
clear? Congratulations.
潜在意識のラン
And
ダム
in
な
the
揺らぎ
random
の中
fluctuations
で
of subconscious,
君は
you
偶
accidentally
然
discover
自
that you're
分が夢を
dreaming.
見
Oh, okay, goodbye, Otto. I miss him so much.
つまり今私たちは
They were
あの
we're
老
walking
人
in
の
that old
夢の
man's
中に
dream.
その通り。
This is Hare's
これがウサ
expertise,
ギの特
what she
技。
calls dream catching.
まるで
Sounds
四季
like
の律
something
者だ
only
け
the
が
Harsha
使える能
sentients
力
can
のよう
do.
に
そうだろ。
I know, right?
だか
That's
ら
why the
前
Hire
にあ
sent
の
Hare
件
to
があっ
Mount
た時
Taishu
に
during that incident.
孫子はウサギを退去山に行かせたんでも彼女は律者に興味がない
There,
みたい
okay,
で
so I guess there was someone else
お前も知ってるだろ
watching us during that
彼
arc,
女がゆったりとあそこに現れた
but
時
she
には
didn't show
もう
interest in Harsha's.
事件はすでに
By the time she
お前
ended
の
there,
仲
the
間によっ
incident had
て
been
解
resolved by
決
you
さ
and
れ
your
てたよ
friends.
本題に戻りましょう。
What's the topic?
この全
It's
て
something
は
all related to
成
Project
婚計
Stigma.
画と
ハイヘビが言うには
The bloody sacrifice becomes
今
a sweet
殺
dreamland.
伐とした
In Grey
祭司が
Serpent's words.
じゃあさっきの老
The old
人は
man,
彼はすでに自身が作
he's
ったこ
become
の
one
夢
with
と
this dream. He
何のこれ
conjured.
も
There's
一つ
another way
の
of
人
living,
生
right?
の存在の
Like what
仕
another
方だろ
Grey Serpent often says.
もう
Houses
一
should be
人の
built
ハ
in
イヘ
the
ビが
air.
よく口
The
にしていた言
foundations
葉
are only placed under them.
それって
Even World
Yorunun
Serpent still
Gundam.
tends to follow in
メビウ
Mobius'
スが残した
footsteps
道
and
を元
redefine
にして
humanity.
そうとも言える
And that's pretty much
今の
it.
成婚計画で
In
は
the current Project Stigma,
旧人
the
類は
old
夢と
humans
い
will
う
be
形で
connected
徐
as
々につなが
dreams
り
and eventually become the
最終
stigma
的
of the new
に新
humans.
人類の成婚となる
Okay, so we're turning. I assume what this is saying is like we're turning the humans that don't have the potential into dreams that are going to become the stigmata for people like Sela who are who do have the potential to actually unlock it. Because we saw in the Sue Kevin flashback, I forget if that was in the game or manga, that not everybody has the potential for it. Because like King Arthur lived when they tried to enact Project Stigma there, but everybody else in the village died.
人を成婚にするの
Into stigmata.
その技術は私も
I don't
よ
know
くわ
about
か
the
らない
technical
が
details either, but
一
one
つ
thing
だ
is
け確
certain.
かなことがあ
It
る
makes people disappear into their dreams.
人は己
Helping
の
reality and
夢に
illusion.
消え
Spirit is
現
converted
実
into
と
matter, and
幻が
vice
入れ替わ
versa.
る普通の者たちが全部
Once the
消え
average
た
old
後
humans are gone,
ヨル
World
ムンラ
Serpent
ン
will
ドはそれを
transform it
新人
into
類に適した
a
世界
world
に
suitable
改
for
造
the new
する
humans. Honkai energy will
崩
flow
壊エネル
freely
ギ
inside
ー
every
があらゆる
person,
ものの
and
中で
her
自
shoes
由
will
に
never
流
appear
れ
again.
さっきと同じように
Again,
これも
that's what
ハイ
Grey
ヘビの
Serpent
言葉
said.
だ
I'm sure it can still scare
子
the
供
wits
へ
out
の
of
脅し
kids.
文句としても
From
使
my
えそうだな
understanding,
まるでもう一つの
it's the
古
Elysian
の
realm
楽
in
園
another
みたいだ
sense. So we're making an Elysian realm like out of the collective unconscious of all the people that aren't that can't like maintain the stigma.
人類の夢をすべて集中させ
You
る
gather all the dreams of
巨人を
humanity.
手に入れられ
You'll,
る
you'll get a giant resembling a
その
planet.
姿は
A desert sage named Adam Ruani. Reminds me
砂
of
漠の地下からは
Hari
アダム・ルハーニ
yeah, Haruhi Suzumiya. When they show the like destructive god creatures that can come from Haruhi,
君のよく知っている言葉で説明すると
which means spiritual
聖
Adam.
神アダム・ルハーニーは天使
Adam
だが
Ruhani is one of the
他の
gods,
天使と
but
の
it's
距離は
extremely
とて
far
も
away
遠
from
く
the others. That
その
distance
距
is
離
what
は
mortals call
凡人
time.
からは時間
It's
と
the
呼
late
ばれる
eternity, and a rift that can't be
遅
crossed
れ
with
て
a
きた
logic.
人はアダム・ルハーニ
Humans see
ーを
Adam Ruani
己の
as the
夢の
product
産
of their
物として考
dreams.
えるが
And the
後者にと
opposite
っては
applies to Adam
人
Ruhani.
も同じだ
Its words are like our sleep talking.
我々の
It
寝
has
言
no
のよう
present
に
and past.
その言葉
Everything
に
happens in the
現在
future.
と過去はなく
Kind of reminds me
全
of
ては未来に
Folly.
なる
Like its general shape, but also that like the way they've described Folly is like Folly has always existed and is always watching.
死なず
It
人
can
のよう
die,
な思考を
think
せず
humanly nor
ま
reproduce.
してや子孫を残す
It
こと
simply exists forever as the ladder leading to
ア
divine
ダム・ル
will.
ハーニそうそれが成婚
That's
計
the
画
real
の
aim
真の意味
of
だ
Project Sigma.
殺伐としたもの
Be
で
it
も
gory or
幻想
psychedelic,
的なもので
physical
も
or spiritual,
肉
their
体
only
的でも
means
精
nothing.
神計画の本質は
The plan is
自
essentially
分
a
を救え
chain
な
that
い者
ties
たち
people
を
who can't
きつ
help
く縛り
themselves
つける
together.
一歩
We can let
先
them
だ
go with the flow, or help them within our power.
今彼らにとってこ
For
うい
them,
った
joining
援
this
助は
dream
盛
is
大
being
な
helped.
夢だ夢の中で彼らはアダ
In
ム
their
となり
dreams, they are Adam.
天使となり
They are gods.
彼らにとって
The
現
real
実世界
world
の
will
意
lose
味
its
を
meaning
失い
for them, while the
永
eternal
遠の
dream
夢
will
こそ
become their own
唯一の
reality.
真実と
They
な
no
る
longer think with time.
彼らの夢はつ
Their
ながり
dreams
合
will
い
be connected, which will create a true miracle that transcends
本当の
finality.
奇跡
Never mind. This is actually like the opposite of fully. Fully basically, I guess fully doesn't really care if things continue to exist. It is going to record everything that exists. But I imagine in that idea, it would be something that would be on the side of the continued existence of cognizance. Where like this is the opposite, where it's like cognizance is like fading and being merged into this one thing.
一つの夢を
Connecting a dream with another dream.
想像できない
Can't
だ
you
ろ
imagine, huh? Friendly reminder,
ちなみに、
there's more to the project.
これは
They
ま
are
だ
also
計画の
literally
全貌じゃ
describing
ない
Penacony, I should say.
ヨルムンガンドによって直接夢とつながることができる人は
Is it
地球の
because,
人
is it
口か
because
らする
compared to
と
the entire
ごく少
population,
数しかいないか
people
ら
who can be connected to the dream world by world serpent are extremely rare.
あの老人は
That old
ヨルム
man
ンガンドの
is a
信者の
believer
一
of
人
world
だった
serpent.
へえ、鋭いな。
Oh, you're keen.
これ以上
I have a
話して
feeling
た
that
ら
if we keep talking, I'm going to
私
tell
の
you
知って
everything
る
I
もとも
know.
とそうするつもりじゃなかったの
Isn't this the case?
そう言わないでくれ。
Don't say that. I'm
今
not
お前
telling
に
you.
教
Grey
えたこと
Serpent
は
will tell you.
とにかく成婚計画は
Project
完成し
Stigma
つ
is
つある。
almost complete. It's
この
not,
レベル
it'll
の
not
情
be
報
restrained
共
by
有で
this level of
制
information
限を受け
sharing.
渡りガラスあなたは本当に
Do you really approve? Raven held her index finger in front of
や
her
っぱり
lips.
今日はやめておこう。
Let's drop that for the
この
day.
話それより
May,
Raiden,
do you
May.
mind going for another drink with me?
簡単に整理してみる
Well,
わ
let
ね
me set it out first.
今私は
You said I'm trapped in my
自分の
chain.
夢に閉じ込め
The
ら
enemy
れ
is
て
still sleeping in Hyperion.
その通りだ
Correct.
じゃあ
What if I do this? She set her hand against her
これが
throat.
普通の夢なら君は目を
If
覚ま
this
す
is a
か
regular dream,
も
you'd
しくは
wake up
次の
or
夢
have
を
the
見
next
るのか
dream.
しかし
But since you're
今の
conscious,
君の意識
you
は
risk
明晰
dispelling
だ
it instead.
つまり
Which
私は
is to say,
思考を
I
諦
can't
めち
give
ゃ
up
ダメで
thinking. I must find the flaw of this
この夢の
dream,
ほころ
despite
びを
not
見
even
つけない
knowing
と
why
いけない
I'm
って
trapped
ことよ
here.
その通りだ
That's right.
だが気をつけ
But
る
you
んだ
must remember,
テレサ
Teresa.
これが君の夢な
If
ら
this is your dream,
そのほころ
then
びも
its flaw is bound to
必
be
ず
your
君自身
weakness.
の気をつけてくれ
Careful.
奴らが
They're
来るぞ
coming. Evil Teresa. Dark Teresa. Oh, hello. You're not another Teresa. I was expecting another Teresa. That wasn't that bad.
なるほど
That
A シリー
explains
ズの
it.
クローンと
DJ
パールバ
clones and Parvati. I think I know enemies will appear.
例えば僕と
But
か
with me, the answer was silence.
すまない
Sorry, I
こ
shouldn't
の
have
冗
made
談
that
はって
joke.
君はまだ疑ってる
You
か
may
もし
still
れ
be
ないが
doubtful about this,
僕
but
は
I
確か
genuinely
に
am
君の
with you.
君の意識の奥に
Deep
存
inside
在
your
する
mind,
オットーアポ
Otto
カリプ
Apocalypse
ス
has
に
a
も
good heart.
善意の
Perhaps this
半
Otto
身が
can
あ
be
る
called
鏡に映った
the
もう
other
一
you
人
in
の
the mirror.
あなたから漂う嫌
Can't
な
remind
感
me
じ
of
は
how disagreeable
あの
he
人と
was.
鏡なのだから嫌われることもあ
Mirrors
るだ
can be
ろう
unpleasant. They don't
なぜなら
always reflect the sides
僕
we
も
like.
ちろん
I'm not trying to
誰かの
excuse
ために
anyone, of
弁解
course.
しているわけじゃ
With
ない
some people manipulating mirrors is an easy
君
trick.
が気にする本題に戻
Back to
ろう
the
か
subject of your concern. To dismantle this dream based on Saint Freya, the methods that would dismantle Saint Freya in real life would surely have the highest success rate.
表情エリア
The Dogma District. This was a name that had not been mentioned for ages. The place known as the Underground Central Church was where Saint Freya received cutting-edge technology from Chixel HQ, and where the Hersher core inside Kiana roused again.
そうだ
Yes,
あれは
that's where Chixel,
天命
Anti-Entropy,
ネゲントロピー
and the Hersher of the
空の
Void
律者の
contested.
三者行こうテレサ
Let's go, Teresa.
何が
Let's go
隠されて
see
いる
what's
の
hidden
か
there this time. Haha, this is the bridge where we said goodbye to
こ
Himiko,
の
and I
学園を
cried a
引
little
き継い
bit.
だばかりの頃は
About that, when I first took over the school, I actually hated it.
おやおじい様の
No,
気配に染まっ
I
てい
did
た
not
から
reek
か
of
い
your grandfather.
うんうん
Now,
自
I
分の
just
た
hated
め
their
に物に
seniors
お
who
金をか
overspend
け
on
すぎてる年
materialistic
長者が
things.
ちょっと嫌だっただけよ建設中の学園を
When I
初め
first
て
saw
見
the
た
school in
時
the construction, I
私は
thought
こ
to
う思っ
myself,
たわ
oh
何
my
これ
gosh, is this some sort of
500年前
500-year-old
のパブリ
school
ッ
for
クスクール
nobles?
ウィーンの王宮みたい
Why
に
is
して
it
どうする
constructed like a
の
palace in Vienna? But now
で
he
も
don't
今
think
は
that
そう
way
思って
anymore.
ないんだろう
ええ慣れたからよ
I just had to get used to
フ
it
カ
after
が
all.
話してたように
As Fuha says,
すでにこれ来たればこれを
since
休
you're
ん
already
ずるべ
here,
し
make peace with it. A
宮
palace
殿
or
で
a
もあばら
hut,
屋
it
でも
matters not as long as it
実
serves
用
its
的であれば
purpose.
それでいいってね
Hey, hey Hoyo. That was almost perfectly timed. Can we, like, get good at that again? Where the dialogue is perfectly timed to the distance we have to travel, so I stop
聖フ
cutting
レイ
it
ヤの
off by
中央
walking.
聖堂に
Oh, here we are. Saint Freya's special church.
ドアを開けて階段を
After
降り
opening the
る
door
と
and going down the stairs,
この学園
we
で
should find
最も
ourselves at the
秘密に
most
されてい
secretive
た場
place
所
on
に
the campus.
どうしたんだい
Is there something on your
1年
mind?
くらい前に
A year ago, this is where Keanu was affected by Hesher
まだそ
power.
の件で自分を責
You're
めて
still
る
blaming
のかい
yourself for it.
あなたにはわからない
You
わ
don't understand. Because of that
あの
incident,
件のせいで
Saint Freya lost her best
つ
teacher.
まり
I'm saying
私個人も友
this
人を
pains
一
me
人
even
失
more
ったけれ
than
ど
losing a good friend
だ
forever.
がそれはもう変えられない現
But the
実だ
past is the past.
君にで
What
き
you
るこ
can
と
do
は
is get yourself together
元
and look
気を
ahead
出して
for
ハロ
her.
スタンでも君たちはその話をしていたじゃないか
Maybe the real hardship is yet to come.
何はともあれ
Anyhow,
今は
let's
この
find out
夢
what
の中で
secrets are hidden behind this
扉の
door. Hello. This is where Otto fucking died. That's the imaginary tree that he merged into. This is where he fought all the Otto clones. At the end of the dream was not the place of atonement that held secrets, but the place of closure that had belonged to one man. And now the person who happened to embody him was wading a crimson desert, uncontrollably thinking of that self that made the world better yet worse.
テレサ
Teresa,
アルマニャックのブラン
I'd
デ
love
ー
to
があ
sit
る
down
な
and have a
ら
drink
こ
if
こ
I
に
had
座
a
って
bottle
何
of
杯かいただきたいものだ
Armagnac.
ほらなんて
Look,
綺麗
a
な木
beautiful
だ
tree, isn't it?
あなたは私の夢の中の
Can
意
you
識よ
claim
ね
it to be the conscious of a dream?
どうして口を
Why
開
do
く
you
と
sound more
本
flippant
人
than
よ
I
りも
yield
軽
to?
く
テレサ
Teresa,
ユー
humor's
モア
good
は
for
健
health.
康にいい
You
影響
can
を与
learn
える
from
ん
him
だ
in this
はい
respect.
はいあなたの
Yeah,
慰め方
I
は
should
と
have
ても
known you
特
can
別
insult
だ
people
って
differently.
じゃあ教えてくれるかし
At
ら
least tell me, are we in a
私たち
brainstorm
が
or the
今いる
imaginary
場所は
space in reality?
少なくとも私は
I don't think I can
揺らんだのに
construct a
説明を
realistic
聞いただけ
environment in my
で
dreams simply
これ
after
ほどリアルな場所を夢の中に構築できるとは思えないわ
Durandal's description?
確かにそうだね
Indeed.
僕たちは聖フレイヤ
You've
学
almost
園をほぼ
gone
通
through the
っただろ
entire Saint Freya. Until
そ
that
の
moment,
時まで
everything
は
was
何
unquestionably
の
your
しかし
memory.
今
But we've come
僕
here,
た
a
ちは
place that
君
does
の
not
記
belong
憶
to
に
your
はない
memory.
この場所に
So that
来
means
た
your body in reality is being corrupted by imaginary.
現実
Or your
の君
dream
が
is
すで
merging
に
with
僕から
another's.
見ると
In my opinion,
最も可
they're
能
more
性の
likely to
高い
happen
状況は
simultaneously.
おそらく
So I begin to
ハイペ
wonder.
リオンは月の軌道
Hyperion
に
is
あ
in
る
orbit around the moon.
それな
Where
のに
does your opponent come
相手は
from?
どこから
How did they manage
ど
to
んな
affect you?
方法で君に
And
干
why
渉
would
し
they
た
do that?
分かっててわざと聞いて
You're
るのよ
asking
ね
the obvious? When I don't ask questions like that, he already has answers in mind.
いいだろうもったいぶるのはやめ
Then
よ
I'll say, then I'll be upfront.
ハイ
Since
ペ
we
リオンが
suspect
虚数
Hyperion may be
空間の侵
corrupted by
食を
imaginary
理論
space.
上
then in
僕たちも
theory,
それを通
we
して
can also reach the
侵
subject
入
of
し
this
てきた
invasion
主体
this
だか
way.
ら今の
So
状況
despite
は
the
さっぱり
situation
わか
being
らない
unclear,
が
this is our perfect
黒
chance
幕
to
に
come
接
into
触す
contact
る
with the
絶好の
instigator.
ただ
Unfortunately,
ここは果て
this is
の
a
ない
boundless
砂漠
desert.
だ
If I were to construct her,
僕が
I
迷
wouldn't be
宮
so
を作る
foolish
と
as
した
to
ら
leave my enemies a
私
shortcut
た
out.
ちが唯一得られる
And don't
結
tell
論
me
は
your only conclusion is we should do
ま
nothing.
さか
Why
ただ
would it
君
be?
の想像
It's
力
your
が常識
imagination
にと
being
らわれ
restrained
て
by
いただ
common
けだ
sense.
体内で飼っている
Think
獣
of
の
what
ことを
kind of
思い出し
beast
てみる
resides
と
in
い
you.
い
Think of what it can
た
devour.
だの崩壊獣
Only Honkai beasts?
ただの崩壊
Only
エネルギ
Honkai
ー
energy? Or is it
それとも
possible for every imaginary
虚数の
construct to be
造
its
物
food?
だ
You mean
ああいい反応だっ
that's
て
the
るさ
response, Teresa? Don't forget that this dream is part of the
君
Honkai.
の夢も
In a place
崩
that's
壊の
neither
一部
real
だ
or false. Your Vishnu is
現実と
capable of
幻
つまり
anything.
ビシュヌの力を使って聖フレイヤに現れ
You
るは
want
ず
me
のない元
to
凶を
use
飲み込め
Vishnu's
た
power to devour the solution that shouldn't appear at St.
その
Freya?
上の夢も
And
全て
even all the other dreams above it?
なんだ狂って
You
ると
think
思
it's
ってるのかい
insane? But if you ask yourself,
だ
you'll
がこうい
realize
う特殊な条件下で
under such special
それは確か
conditions,
に
it's
できる
possible. She wanted to rebut, but did not say anything in the end. She guessed what would happen next and knew it was inevitable. This was only a dream, which was all the more reason she should not
さあテ
hesitate.
レサウォーミングアップの時間だ
Time to warm up. Ah, time to fight Otto. Oh, there he goes.
消えなさい
Okay. Round,
いいぞ
round
そ
two.
の勢いだ
Very good. Keep up this momentum.
思い切り成長するがいい
Throw as much as you
ビシュ
can, Vishnu. Ganesh!
ヒジバット頭の上に気をつけなさい
Die a little faster, please.
Well よく頑張ったねテレサ
Well done, Teresa.
ビシュヌは圧倒的な
Vishnu has
力を
gained
手に入
overwhelming
れ
power.
た
To be fully able to devour this dream.
じゃあ
What about you? What's special about
どん
me?
な夢でも
When a dream
目
wakes
覚
up,
めるときは
everyone in it returns to its
夢に現
master.
れたも
I'm
の
no
は
exception.
違うの
No, not in that
だから
respect. I
もう
meant,
いいわ
forget it. It's
もう
not
どう
important
でもよく
anymore. This is what it
こ
feels
れ
to say
が家
goodbye to
族
your
と
blood,
別れると
Teresa.
夫アポカリプス
Although
は
Otto Apocalypse was
どう
hopelessly
しよう
evil,
もない
at
悪
certain
人
moment
だ
of his life, he sheltered
し
you.
かしあの
At
時
certain moments. At this time, at
彼は
that
何でも
time,
できるように
he seemed to have everything at his fingertips, so much so that you
もし
often imagined how it
彼が
would be if he
味方でい
really
てくれたら
was on your
どうな
side.
テレサ
Teresa, to think that way is human. When you have an elder, you naturally want them to stand by you.
でも
But
あなた
you-
は
No,
いいえ
even my real grandfather is ultimately my mirror.
もちろんさ
Of course, I'm happy you're
君
aware
に
of that.
そんなか彼にとっては
You're
君も
also his
鏡だよ彼は君の潜在
He
的な
reflects
悪
your
を
hidden
映し
evil,
た
and you reflect
そ
his
れと
hidden
家
good.
族友人
Family, friends,
Rival.
rivals, and even enemies can help us understand ourselves more comprehensively.
ありがとうでも
My real grandfather would
本
never say
物のお
that.
じいさん
当然だ
Of course,
彼は結
he's
局
nothing more than a fool. The man's illusion disappeared. Teresa knew he was not real, but mirror image glamorized by her subconscious. Her grandfather was still selfish beyond saving. That was the choice of a fool, and a leaden history that could not be rewritten. And now that illusion had disappeared with him. From then on, Otto never appeared in Teresa's dream in any form again. No, but I miss him. No, bring him back.
ああようやく見つけた
Finally found it.
ここは
This place is
典型詞かしら。
Ark City.
正確に言うと
To be more specific, it's the Ark City dreamed of by some serpent
蛇
believers.
の信者。
Serpents believers.
彼らは数
Jackal
十万
once
人もい
boasted they had
て、
infiltrated
全世
every
界
trade
の各
around the
分野で
world.
活躍し
With
てるっ
close to
て。
700,000
ジャッカ
people.
ルが自慢
That's
げに語
real.
っ
具体的な数字
I
は
don't
わ
know
か
the
らない
exact
が
number, but since the
宗師
Sire
が戻っ
emerged,
てき
World
てから
Serpent has never had a
ヨル
shortage
ム
of
ンガンと
informants.
喜んで助けてくれた
Some
者
are
もい
happy
る
to
が
help us, but
もっ
more
と多
only
いのは
conform to the
集
so-called
合
collective
的無意識
unconscious,
というものに従う
especially
や
so
つ
when the strengths of stigmata
特に
and the
成
weakness
婚の
of
強
will
さ
were
と意志の
disproportionate
弱
on
さ
the
に
individual.
さてジャッカ
Well,
ルと
let's
ハイ
not
ヘ
bore
ビだけが
ourselves with
興味を
topics
持つ
only
ような
Jackal and
話は
Grace
やめ
Serpent
よ
are
う
interested in. Come to my place and have a
冗
drink.
談じゃなかったのね。
You weren't kidding.
お願いだ
Come
ラ
on,
イデン
May.
メイ
Whenever I say I want to have a
私が
drink,
何
then
か
you
飲
know.
みたい座れ何か
Take a
飲みたい
seat.
ものは
What are you drinking?
ミルクで
Milk.
本気か
Seriously.
殺菌済みで無
Skim
脂肪。
milk, the best for the
前
underage.
に来た未
You
成
said
年
it,
者
you
に
said
飲ま
so
せる。
yourself.
お前って
You're unforgiving.
どうぞ
Here,
レインボーミルクだ
rainbow milk for
天
children
然着
with
色
all
料と
natural
特
coloring,
別に
DHA, and
DHA と
plant-based calcium
植物
to
性カルシ
facilitate
ウ
your
ム
growth.
ミ
It's
ルクを
indeed a
使って
special
食う
milk.
のアイディアだ
It's Sora's
作る
idea.
のは結構
It's
面
pretty
倒だが
troublesome to make, but
今は
thankfully I
夢の
don't
中
need
だ
to
から
in
な
dream. May drank the rainbow milk in front
意
of her
外
up.
と口当たりがさっぱりしていたわ。
Surprisingly
もっと褒めてもいい
He
ぞ
can be more generous with praise.
けど、渡りガ
But
ラス。
Raven, does our taste and a dream come from our interactions with the
夢の
dream
中に
concept?
相変わらず鋭いな
Sharp as ever. I'll put it this
こうい
way.
うお前が今
The
感じた
taste
味
you
覚
felt
は
was probably my
そ
taste.
のほとんどは
It'll be more
私の味
accurate.
覚だ
The taste I remember.
なるほど。
I see.
夢を通して
Your
互いの経験
experiences
と
of
感
dreams
覚を
by
共有
dreams.
するって
That's
わけ。
entirely new.
ほら安らかな夢にも
Falling asleep
小さなサプライズが
can
あっ
be
た
an
りする
exciting experience.
渡りガラス。まさか今さら、ヨルムンガンドを代表して私を説得しようとしてるんじゃないでしょうね。
Raven, don't tell me this is when you started to lobby World Serpent.
まさか
Excuse me.
私を買いかぶりすぎだ
You're frustrating me.
ただ最後の
Only
一
that
杯も
we're
もう
almost
すぐ
done
終
with
わ
the
る
last glass. Yeah. As if tasting wine, Raven finished a glass of ordinary coffee mix slowly. The empty bar was unusually quiet, as if the world's chimes had fallen silent, until that glass was irreversibly emptied and the two were prepared for battle.
ところでここ
By
は
the
私
way,
たちの
this place
初
counts
対
as
面
where
の
we
場所
first
だった
met.
よな
そうなるわ
I
ね。
suppose so, but we weren't
Another
focusing on
key.
each other. I knew you'd
そう
say
言う
that,
と思っ
Aris.
たよ
You don't go easy
ど
on
うだっ
people.
た
How
こ
was
の
it?
半年間
Did
の
you have fun dancing with the
蛇と共
serpent
に
for the
暮ら
past
した
6 months or
生活は
so?
それはどうでしょうね。
It's hard to say,
でも、
but at least I made a friend. You see.
あなたは
What about you?
私
Me? She smiled.
私ももちろん楽しかったよけど
Now that you mention
お
it,
前がそこ
I
ま
need
で
to
言う
make
な
sure
ら
you accept my farewell gift.
どんなものか
You should know what that
問題
is.
ないわ。
No problem.
制
The
服の
lightning of
雷は
conquest doesn't mind winning against the
もう
same
一度
opponent
勝
twice. Does it?
ここは
This is
楽
an
園とは
illusion
全く
created.
違う元
This is
凶
an
だ
illusion completely different from the realm.
あまり
You
油
better
断
not
しない
take it too
方が身
lightly.
のためだぞ
Flash of thunder.
待っていたぞ
Alright. Raven round like 4. Man, that first Raven fight was like genuinely really hard. And the story sections have not been hard since. Not that I'm like particularly against that, it's just interesting to see the change.
ライデン・メイ
Red
お前
May.
が選ぶ
The
道を
path
見
you've
ている
chosen has always been a
といつも
respectable
感
one.
心してしまうよだが理解し
But
て
you
もら
must
わないと
also
な
know
ら
that
ない
from the moment you left the World
お前
Serpent,
がヨルムンガンドを抜けた瞬間から組織の誰も
every
が
member of the
お
organization
前
has
にとって
become your
敵とな
enemy.
る少し休んだら第二段階と行こう
You can't get away with our secrets. Damn, I was hoping she would finish transforming while I was doing that.
始めようか。
Come on, do the thing.
吠えなさい、クリから。
They're at least making this one a real fight for the first time in this chapter. But I'm not having a hard time with it, but like, I have to move and dodge, and she has actual health. Mash! The battle was decided. Even in another person's dream, the chasm between them was unbridgeable.
降参だ降参。
I surrender. I surrender.
楽園にいた頃よ
You're
り
actually stronger than you were in the
今
realm.
そう
Am I?
むしろ相
If
手
I
が
thought it
思い
was
っ
my
きり戦
opponent
わ
playing
な
it
かった。
safe. Not so
Whatever.
fast. A disturbing scepter appeared in Raven's hand. It was a scepter of Dwat that had severely wounded man, Coral
すま
Island.
ないね、
Sorry about
名誉
that.
嬢様。
My heiress.
悪いけど北進
Sorry.
一刀流の
It's
伝承
also
者として
a focus in
同じ手に
each of
二
you
度も
can't
や
be
られる
defeated
わ
by
け
the
に
same
はい
move
かない
twice. Even that
Either
lost to you. I thought you dropped
こ
your
の
guard
手
the
も
moment
ダ
I
メだった。
admitted
忠
defeat.
告してきたのはそっちで
You've
しょ
warned me about from the moment I
夜分
left
願
the
度を
world
抜けた
serpent.
瞬間
Every member of the organization
組
would
織
become my
の
enemy
誰もが
normally.
傭兵の肩書きを持つナターシャ
This
さ
is
んの
all the
前
more
な
true. This is all the more
Now
true.
sorry.
Natasha the mercenary, isn't it? You got
My-
me. Raven raised her arm to show she had
Aye, aye.
surrendered.
今度こそ
I
手
really
札
don't
を
have any
全
more
部使
cards
う
up
ま
my
くいけ
sleeve.
ば
I was
この
hoping
ま
I
ま
could
お
take
前
you
を
to
ニ
New
ュー
Atra
アト
just
ラ
like
に
that.
ニューアトラ
New Atra?
成婚計画を
So
実
people
行
live
中
while
の人
Project
々が
Stigma is in
生活する
progress.
場所だ。
So I was looking forward to camping there.
全員をそこに移すほど
I don't think World
You're
Serpent is
the
kind
Mugano,
enough to
優し
move
くない
everyone there.
全くもっ
You've got that
て
right.
その通りだ。
Average folks
普
will
通の
most
奴ら
likely
は
sink into the dream
おそら
woven
く
by the
ヘビ
serpent. Raven forced a
ア
smile.
ポニアならこのやり方に賛同する
Upon
か
you
も
might
しれない
approve
な
of。this, don't you think?
だけど
But I'm
私は
clearly
彼女
not
じゃない
her.
わ
But I'm clearly not her. It's my power. I want to. May, what's wrong? This power is hair. No.
大丈夫よ渡りガラス
It's okay, Raven.
Kekka
One can
tekini.
say you two don't owe each other
あな
anymore.
たと彼女
Aren't you
は
happy about that? A voice was heard in their heads. May felt a pair of warm arms wrap around her shoulder. Their softness hazily reminded her of the happier days at
ごめ
St.
んな
Freya.
さい
I'm sorry,
迷い
lost
の
child.
子よ
In this false dream,
この強制的な夢の中で
and meet a self that's
あなた
familiar.
は遥か向こう岸までただでも怖がらないで
But do not be afraid.
そこ
There
で
you'll
あ
be
なたは
reunited with the people you hold dear.
一番
And
大事
together,
な人と
you
再
create a new
会す
tomorrow
る
that only exists in fantasies. After all,
人類の
compared
最
to
低限
redefining humanity,
世界の最低限の方
redefining
が
the world is always a better
おやす
option.
みなさい
Good night,
ラ
Ride
イ
and
デン
May.
メイ
May you and your friends have a sweet dream. Is that all Project Stigma? No. No, it is not. I find it weird, just like when they kick you out. Insufficient stamina. It's been using my stamina? Damn. I'm glad I had some stored up. Cabin. The man walked alongside time. The night crystallized in his dream and left behind a hazy starlight. He remembered she said that every ray of starlight was born from the fusion reaction of a stellar core, wandered for millions of years before escaping to the planetary surface, and traveled for another millions of years in the cold space to fall into their eyes. She said she used to believe that every star in the sky was an enemy, but right before a world cycle she realized Every star in the sky was also a mark of civilization's breaking its destiny eventually. Are we in... I think this is Elysium. It is Elysium Everlasting.
Dad, we're alive.
Don't you find that magical?
Huh?
Dad, I don't understand why we're alive. I don't understand why the world exists. I can't think of any reasons.
メイ、
May,
外では
don't ask
そ
other
ういう
people
話
those questions. Why?
誰もそんな質問を
People
好
don't
まな
like
いか
hearing
ら
them.
な。
They think the asker
外
needs
で
to
そん
see a
な話をした
psychiatrist.
ら精
What is
神
on a
的な
funny
病気
drug?
でも外の人たちは
Do they know the
質問
answers
の
to my
答えを知って
questions?
知らないと思
I don't
う。
think
で
they
もそ
do.
れが
Which is exactly
彼
why
ら
they
が
don't like
そうい
hearing
う
them.
それはどうして
Why is
彼ら
that?
は
Because they
生
lack the
活に
courage to
向
face
き合う
life.
勇気が足りないん
You're
だ。
young, so you may not feel that.
とある可能性を想
There's
像
a
して
massive
みて
possibility. In a space-time greater than the universe, your consciousness in your life may have appeared countless times,
命
but
自
you're
体
unable
が
to realize it.
僕自身が気づいてないなら
His
それって
voice
つま
is
り
so
その
different
仮
when he's
説が
pre-trauma.
存在し
It's
てもし
so
なくても
weird.
大して変わらないってこと？
If I'm unable to realize it, doesn't that mean whatever the hypothesis is true, whether the hypothesis is true doesn't matter?
そうでもないかな。
I don't think so.
考え方
Such
によって
critical
は
thinking will
世
influence your
界や
view
人
of the
生
world
に対
and
す
life.
る
そうかな。
Really?
例え話をしましょう
Have an example. Have you heard the story about a poor man and a rich man sunbathing together?
ああ、一生使い切れないほどのお金を稼いだ富豪でも結局最後は
If the
貧
rich
しい
man
人と同
makes
じよ
more
うに
money
ひ
than
な
he
たぼっ
could
こしてる
spend
って
several
話だろ。
lifetimes, but end up sunbathing like the poor man?
ええとても有名な奇弁
A
よ
famous sophistry,
そう
isn't it?
富豪にとって日向ぼっこは
Sunbathing is one of the
自
many
身が持
freedoms
つ
the
多
rich
くの
man
自由の
enjoys.
一つに過ぎ
For
な
the
い
poor man, however,
だけ
that's
ど貧
probably
しい
his
人は
only freedom.
君の
I
その
think your
例え話
example
を聞
made
い
it
たら
harder to understand.
メイが言いたいのは
She means
同じ
having the
結果
same
でも
outcome doesn't mean
家
having
庭も
the
同
same
じとは
process.
限らないということ
This
だ。
is especially true for
特に
philosophy,
哲学におい
where
て
questions are
問
often
題
more
は
important
答えよ
than
りも
answers.
なるほど。
Oh,
スーが今言ったように
What
それは
she
一
said
つ
was an
の面で
aspect.
しかないわ
It's like the rich man who had more
で
freedom
も
than
私たち
sunbathing.
は並行す
Plus,
る
by
真理
making
を
use
通
of
し
the
て
parallel truths,
世
we
界
can
に
push
対
our
する自
understanding
分の
of the
ニー
world
ズつまり
further.
私の本当に言いたい
So how
ある
really
実験を思いついた
I
の
thought of an experiment that can
私が
partially
今
validate
話し
my
た観点が
hypothesis.
成立するか
However,
今のところ
I'm still missing
肝
the
心な
crucial
証人が
witness.
しかしメイ
But
そうい
May,
う証
could that
人は
witness really exist?
本当に存
Even
在
if
す
the
るのだろう
universe
か。
cycles, the process
宇宙にループ
itself
現
can
象が
destroy
存
any
在する
history
としても
unbeknown to
そ
us.
の
それは
Because
外
of
部で
whether
宇
the
宙
truths
の
which
運命
control
を
the
支
fate
配
of
す
the
る人
universe from the
物たち
outside
は宇宙
reveal
の内部
clues
に
in
手
the
がかり
universe.
この視点から考えると
From this perspective, the
論理学の
incompleteness,
不完全性定理は私た
the
ちの味方になる
incompleteness
のよね
theorems of the logical system are actually our
だっ
friend.
て宇宙自
If
身で
even
も
the universe
因
is
果
the
関係にお
self-contained
いて
loop
無矛盾の
in
ループを
terms
成
of
立させられ
causality,
ないなら
the verdict
それが
descriptive
どんな
system
体
an
系で
observer
も
is bound to
時
find
間
its
があれ
flaw
ばそして
and gain insight into new
新たな
truths. I have
真理を
no idea what she's saying. Elysia.
どうだった
There
検
you
査
go.
結果は間違っ
Have
て
the
なかったでし
exterminator
ょ
results examination
私
results
の言う
right?
ように
As I said,
エリシ
Elysia
ア
is really her
は本
shirt.
物の
Yeah.
少し面
Come to
白い
think of it,
話なんだ
once
けど
calculated the probability of a Herschel
あな
like
た
you
のよう
appearing.
な率者の出
Turned
現
out that
率
it
を
needed
計
to
算したことがある
read 30 to 35
小
zeros
数
after
点
the
の後
decimal
に
point.
本当に
Really?
でも
But I find myself
私は
average.
主観的な感覚で言うな
This
ら
may be true in
確か
terms
に
of your
そうかもね
subjective perception.
偶発した
With
対称性の
accidental
破
symmetry
れによ
breaking,
り
you
あなた
escape
は
the
終
bondage
焉
of
という
finality
束縛から逃
to
れられる
analog to
少し変わった表現になるけど
analogize it? Analogize? To analogize is rather
まるで誰
strangely.
かが
It's like
熱
someone
力学の
defines
法則を無視
thermodynamics
し
and
て
boiled the coffee
氷
with
で
ice
コップの
cubes.
中のコーヒーを
Wow!
それって
That's a very
宇宙
spectacle
で
in the
もねありがと
universe.
うメイ
Thank you, May.
これからす
I
る
feel
こと
much more confident
に
about
も
what
っ
I'm
と
going
自
to
信が
do.
持てる成功を祈ってる
I wish you success.
もちろん成功させ
I
てみせ
will.
るわ
You bring me luck,
あ
May.
なた費用を拝のみん
Maybe
な
not
に好かれ
everyone
て
in
るわ
Moss
け
likes
じゃない
you,
けど
but no one can deny your
誰もあな
abilities.
た
Not
の
a
能
lonely
力を
contribution.
これからの私の行動
What I'm
は
going to do will make a
メイ
difference in
が
the
作り
future
出した
without everyone
全
you've
てを頼り
created.
にするメイ
Without
に
everything
は
you've created.
私のように崩壊に帰る
You
方
don't
法
have
は
the
ない
channel to return to Honkai like me.
ケビンのように
You don't have the power to resist Honkai like Kevin.
だけど
But your
あな
wisdom
たは
can
知恵
discern the
でこの
nature of
世
the
界の
world
本質
and
を
show
見抜き
humanity the only way out of
渦
the
に飲ま
maelstrom.
れもちろん 取り
Yes,
返しの
certainly
つかない
irreplaceable
過ち
mistakes
も
and unacceptable
受け入れられな
sacrifices.
い犠牲も
But
あっ
in a
たけど
reasonable world, who can lead
こんな
everyone
理不
forward
尽な
better?
せありがとう
Thank you.
でも本音
But
を
to be
言うと
honest,
み
it
んな
isn't
が
my
私を
mistakes that
怖が
people
ってる
fear the
のは
most, right?
うーん
Maybe you're
確か
right.
にそうでも私から見れば
As I see it,
それは
that's
み
one
ん
of
な
the
が
reasons
レイを
people
信
trust
頼
you
す
so
る
much.
大事
Kevin
な
should
理由
know
の
it better
一
than
つでもあ
anyone
るのは
else.
そうだ
Either
今の
way,
話
you can relay
その
what
ま
I
ま
said
彼
to
に
him. I miss her. Why is she dead? It's not fair.
何をしてるの
What are you doing?
あ、いや、
Nothing.
計画変更の状況について話をしていたんだ。
Well, I understand why the
成婚
executive
計画
project
の執
stigma
行
was
者
changed to
が
Kevin.
だけど
You should have
事前に
notified me
僕
in
に連絡
advance,
するべ
May.
きだ。
ケビンに言われなかった
Did Kevin tell you? He made the request
分かっ
himself.
ているさ。
I know.
ただ
誰もが
People need
前へと
something to
進
keep
めるよ
themselves
う
going.
に背
You
中
do,
を押
and
して
so
くれ
does
る
he.
スー
Too.
もし
The
あなた
project
が
stigma is in your
成
hands.
婚計画を担当
But
するなら
strategically speaking, I agree
私
with
たちは
Kevin
その選
that
択肢を
it-
失うことになるで
Kevin
しょ
and
う
that it
ね
amounts to us losing this option.
私何か間違っ
いや、
No.
なら
Then on
組
behalf of
織
the
という視点
organization,
から
ask
こ
you
の
to
決
accept
定
this
を受け入れ
arrangement.
た
分かった。
Yes.
あなたの気持ちはわ
I
かるの
understand how you feel. But we can measure strategic
個
value
人
by
の好き
personal
嫌いで
preferences.
成婚計画は
Project Stigma is
最
the
悪の
worst
計画
plan.
でしかない
Thus, last guarantee if civilization spring itself from
文
fate.
明が
It
宿
must
命から
exist.
逃れるための最後
Even
の
if it
自分
causes
が
us
大事
to
にしていた命
sacrifice our lives, honor, and
Hey, yo.
even worth.
価値をケビン
Kevin, what's your
最
opinion
近
on
の
recent
ことに
events?
それはどのことだろ
What are you talking about?
このことから話しまし
First
ょ
of
う
all, I'm assigning impossible projects to your
私はあなた
friends.
人には
You
理
don't
想
need
化
an
された目
idealized
標が
day.
必要無理と知りながらもあえ
Doing
て
the
やろう
impossible
とす
may
る
be futile, but it's
それ
better
が
than
ド
doing
ローだと
nothing
し
at
て
all.
も
じゃ
You
あ
smile.
あなたの場合は
What about yourself?
彼らと
Unlike
違って
them, you're responsible
あ
for
な
a
たは
plan
確
that can
実に
be
な
そうだ
for a
ね
plan that can be done.
僕に対する
This
み
is
ん
the
なの
trust
信
they
頼を
put in
感
me.
じているよ
I'll spare no effort to
もちろん。
accomplish my mission.
使命
そんなことは聞いてないわ
I'm
ケビ
not
ン
asking about that, Kevin.
私は崩壊
When I study the
人類の
Honkai
運
and
命を
humanity's
研究して
fate,
る時や
I least to the joy of
少しでも
discovery.
真理を発見した時
What can you gain from something to which you don't aspire?
自身の価値を見出す君の
I'm
姿を
content
見
with
てい
seeing
られ
you
るだけ
realize
で
your self-worth.
ケビン
Kevin,
仲
when
間
you
を
led,
導く
when
リ
you
ー
led
ダー
your
として
friends, you said people need an idealized aim.
人には理想化された目標が
How can I
必
be
要
your
だっ
only
て
aim?
関係性はどうあれ
No matter
私
how
はあな
close
たと
we
は
are,
違
I'm independent.
うもう一人の人
Setting
間
the concern of another individual as
そ
your
んな他
aim,
人の心を目的
in my
にする
opinion,
なん
is
て
purely an act of passion.
メイ
May,
僕は
I
誤解しないで
get me wrong,
別に今か
I'm
ら
not
変え
saying
る
you
なん
must
て言っ
change
てるわ
here
けじゃ
now.
ないのだけどケビン
But Kevin,
あなたは
you
よ
know
く知
that
って
I'm
る
not
でしょ
physically capable of becoming a
私あ
mantis.
なたの人生は
You have a
まだ
long
まだ
life
長
ahead
い
of you. Someday you'll
い
part
つ
with
か
me
の
and
未
find
来
your own
でそ
way.
の道は
When that day
誰かの
comes,
付属品であるべき
it
じゃ
won't
な
be
い
attached to anyone,
た
even
と
me.
え
No, wife, don't tell me how you will die.
Kevin?
That make me sad.
あなたにとって命の最も素晴らし
What do
い
you
と
think
こ
is the
ろは
most
どんな
beautiful
とこ
thing
ろ
about life? If you want to hear the truth.
嘘
Your
を
life
つい
can
て
only
もせいぜい
fool me
3
for
秒
3
ぐらいが
seconds.
限界かしら
Oh, and you can't answer meeting me.
分かった
Alright, what do you think?
ああ
Oh,
こういうの
I
は
know this
少
is
し
gonna
変
sound
かも
weird.
し昔まだ学校にい
When
た
I was
頃
in school, we
男
boys
子た
would
ちで
skip
授
class
業を
for
サボっ
Eden's
て
concert.
エデンの
I
コン
think
サー
that
トに
air
行ったこ
freedom
と
I
がある
breathed is the closest thing to the the
あの時に
closest
感
thing
じた
to the
自由
beauty
な
of
空
life.
そ
I expected
ん
you
な
to say
一度
something
限
so
りのこと
wild.
だったとは
At that time, you
さす
should
が
have
あるだっ
said,
て僕は高校生だよ
Thus, I'm just a high
天
school
真爛
student.
漫で楽
Live
しく生
free,
きて
live
る方が
happy.
僕ら
That's
しい
how I would live my life.
そうだな
Yeah,
みんな
everything,
変わっ
everybody's
た
changed.
いや
No, May, you're the only one of us who hasn't
僕た
changed.
ちの中で
Like the truth you've been
君だけ
seeking.
真理が人のように変わ
If
るのな
truth changes
ら
like humans
この
do,
世界は
this
もっ
world
と
might be
美
a
しく
better
なるとケ
place.
ビン
Kevin,
私にとって
I believe the most beautiful
命の
thing
最も
about
素晴
life
ら
is
しい
that,
ところは
despite being constructed
真
by
理の
truth,
造物であ
I
り
can
ながら
rightfully
も
understand and
己
control
の
truth on
力
its
ってだ
own.
あなたの知ってる通り
But as you know,
私たちの
the
認
more we
識が深
understand,
く
the
な
more
るたび
apparent the
に
cruelty behind the
この
beauty
そら知ら
becomes.
ぬが仏過去にあった幻の信仰も
Ignorance is
例の
bliss.
黄昏の
This
町
is
の預
what
言者も
past fictitious belief.
どち
This
ら
is
も
what
そう
past
主張してる
fictitious
わ
beliefs in the current prophet of Sundown Alley
だ
advocate.
が
But
君
you're
は違
different.
う。
当然よ
Of
これが野
course,
心と
and
いう
that's a
もの
cult
かしら
ambition.
氷の視点で人は
Although from
進ま
an
なければ
ulterior,
逮捕
from a
するのみと言
utilitarian
うけど
perspective, people may say
少なくと
not
も
going
私に
forward
と
is
っては
going backward.
いわ
But at
ゆる
least for me,
こうであるべきと
curiosity
いう好奇
instead of
心こそ
necessity
が
is the real
人を進
force
ませ
driving
る
people
小さい
forward.
頃のあなたがこんな質問を
I
考
don't
え
know
た
if
かど
you're
うかはわ
curious
からな
about
い
this
けど
when you were a child. I
つ
once
まり
asked my
ねお父
father,
様私た
Dad,
ち
we're
が
alive.
命を持ってるなん
Don't
て
you find that magical? Magical.
そうよ
Yes.
宇宙の万事
If the universe
万
is
物が
proud of its
こ
existence,
んなに豊富
then
な
why
の
am
に
the only one to
ど
sense
う
my
して
life?
私はどう
Why
し
was
て
I
生まれた
born?
の
Why born
どう
on
してこの
Earth?
地球
Why
に
born
どう
human?
して人類として
Why
生ま
born
れ
in
た
this era?
どうしてこの
Why
時代
born
にどうして
female?
そしてどうして
And why am I observing Kevin through May's eyes?
ケ
Not
ビン
observing
の目を
Mevin,
通
not
してメイ
Mevin.
を観察して
I'm
るんじゃ
observing
なく
May
て
through
メイ
Kevin's
ほら
eyes.
答
You
えら
see,
れない
I
質
have a
問が
sense
山
of
ほどあるでし
unanswerable
ょ
questions.
そういえば
By the
物理
way,
の
you've heard of
電
the
子は区
electrons
別
being
でき
identical,
ないで
haven't
す
you?
あ
Oh, I have.
聞いたことがある
Electrons are elementary
素粒子と
particles
し
and
て
they don't have
電子
distinguishing
は実
properties
際の
like
物
physical
体のように
objects. So you
互
can't
い
tell
を
them
区別
apart
でき
once
る
they
特徴を
mingle,
持って
right?
ええ
Yes.
だからこういう
That's why
説もあ
someone
るの
proposed that maybe there's only
全宇宙の
electron. There's
電子
only
は
one
一つ
electron in the
だけ
entire universe.
そ
It's
れは
traveled
高
through
次
every
元であら
space
ゆる
time in
時
a high
空を通り
dimension
抜け
and exists as
私た
every
ちが
electron
思う一つず
simultaneously
つ
in
の
our
電子
それ
eyes.
は一
That's
風変わ
an
ったロマ
eerie
ンがある
kind of
話
よりロ
romance.
マンチックな説もあるわ
These hypotheses
例
get
え
more
ば
romantic.
とある哲学
A
がこう
fanciful
主張している
philosophy argues that the universe is
宇
the
宙は繰り
superposition of
返
an
された
endlessly
運
repeating
命
fate,
の積み
which every
重ね
consciousness is but the spatial
中
state of
の
a
意
common
識たち
soul.
輪廻のような迷信的な
Think
言い
of it
方
as
で
a
簡単に説
superstitious
明すると
reincarnation.
今世の
Superstitious
私は
reincarnation.
来
They
世
may
で
become a
黄昏
victim
の
in
星
some
の
down
犠牲
alley
者
in
に
the
なり
next life.
来
They
世
about
の来世で
Prometheus
は
in the life after
ロボッ
that,
トの
and
プロ
so
メテウ
on.
ス
それは
客観的に言うと
Objectively
一
speaking,
部の人た
this
ち
is
に
an
とって
indescribable horror for
言葉
some
では
and
表現できない
untamable
恐
salvation
怖
for
はで
others.
も私にとって
But I think it's at
少な
least
くと
an
もそれ
interesting thought
は一
experiment.
つの面
It
白
can
い
help
思
us
想実
understand
験
the
だ
volume of the world and the weight of
も
life.
ちろん全
But
ては
again,
所詮
it all boils down
奇
to
想
imaginative
天外な思
thinking.
想に過ぎない
As long as it's expressed
表現が
abstractly
抽
enough,
象的であ
it
れ
can
ば
be neither proved
それ
nor
はそうだから
disproved.
認識の
Therefore, in
領
the
域
field
に
of
おいて
cognition,
それは一
this is
種の
only
逃避
another
に過
form
ぎ
of
ない
escape.
つまり人は
You're
いずれ
saying people
真
will
理と
face the
向き合
truth
う
someday.
ええ
Yes.
完
Although the
全な
complete
真
truth is
理は
simply
そもそも
unknowable,
不可知
but
だ
the
けど
metaphysical flaw actually
そうい
discusses
う
what's outside
形
humanity's
而上自然
horizon.
に対する探索に
As
よ
we
り
explore nature,
人々の
the
目に
visible
見える
truth
真理
continues
は
to
徐々に
broaden.
広がっていく
It's already vast enough to
それは
encompass us
様
through
々
a
な面に
finite
お
in
いて
every
数
way.
学の先生から
Your
不
math
完
teacher
全
might
性
have
定
told
理
you
を
about the
教わったと
so-called
思うけど
incompleteness theorems,
実は
but
どん
I'll
な
tell
物
you
理
that
学
any
の結
physical
論も
conclusion is provisional
数
on the
学の論理
mathematical
において
logic
は
level. I
一
don't
次種の
understand
に過ぎない
a word this woman has said.
人がまとめた法則である限りそれには応
As
用
long as
範
it's
囲
drawn
が
by humans, it has
そして
scope
そ
of
の範囲を超
application
えたものの
and can
説
never
明
explain
が
anything beyond
どこ
that.
にでも適用できる真理というの
A
は
truth that's applicable
最初から
everywhere
哲学者
has
が考
nothing
え
more
出し
than
た
a
仮説
monster
よ
has been nothing more
そう
than a
いう
monster
唯一の
fantasized
思
by
想による
philosophers.
毒は
This sort of
む
thinking
し
has
ろ
done more
そ
harm
の
than
メ
good
リで
to
も
us.
知ってる
But most
本当
interestingly,
の面白さは
everything I said makes facing the
この
truth all the
全て
more
は
fascinating.
結局
At the
真理に
moment,
向
I
き合う
won't
こ
be
との
shaken
魅
to the
力を
soul.
大きく
僕は全部理解できてい
I'm
るか
not
わからない
sure if I understand. That makes two of us,
で
Kevin.
も一部のスポーツのように本当の意
I
味で
get the
自
like
分のものにできないから
philosophical
人々はそれに魅力を感じていると言いたいのかい
but not like the actual words she's saying. Are you trying to say this is some it's like some sport where their lasting appeal comes from being
も
untamable?
ちろん
Of course.
いわゆる
I've
思
always
考
believed
は
that thinking
こ
is the
の宇宙
greatest
で
extreme
最も
sport in
偉
the
大なの
universe.
あ
So,
なたの彼
is
女
your
が
girlfriend more
考
insane than
え
you
てたよ
imagine?
りも
Yeah, a little bit.
何しろ
After all,
僕たちの世界は
our world itself is
も
rather
ともと
bizarre.
狂気じみている
I'm trying so hard to walk and I can't.
僕だ
I've come.
ご苦労だった
Excellent.
無数
Preserving
の派
yourself
生意
from
識の
countless
中で自我を保
derived
つ
consciousnesses is no easy
そ
task
れは
even for
君に
you.
とって構わない
It matters not.
計
The
画に
project
必
only
要な
needs you
の
to
は
appear here.
このタイ
You've
ミ
been
ングで
lying low
君が
long
洗う
enough.
無論
They will certainly
彼
have
ら
the
にも
chance to
自
prove
分自身を
themselves.
証明する機
In
会
the
がある
meantime, they must understand what they're challenging.
確かにそれは不確
I
定要
agree
素
that's
だ
an unstable factor.
後
I
ほ
shall
ど
meet her in person later.
ああ
Yes.
僕は
According to our
計画
plan,
通り
I will
に
shoulder the authority of
少しず
finality
つ
bit by bit,
終焉の
and
力を
eventually
背負い
finish our destined course.
5万年間の待ち時間
The
はもう終わ
50,000
り
year
だ
wait is over. Thank you. Number
ご苦労だっ
17.
た
Say,
17号
Kevin Killer number 17? Or is this like a clone or a robot?
これからは安らかに眠るといい
KT. Teresa Apocalypse looked around her in the darkness. As the avatar of Vishnu, she had devoured the sevenfold dream, but was still trapped in this lucid dream. St. Freya, Shixel Air Terminal, Colliston, the Deep, Ark City, Nagazora, Siberian Snowfield. They were the microcosms of her and her students' lives. Then, what did this hollow darkness represent?
はじめまして。テレサ・アポカリプ
Nice
ス。
to meet you, Teresa Apocalypse. From the darkness came a voice that was cold but carried a certain warmth.
誰？
Who's there?
私はケビン・カスラナの影。
Kevin Caslana's shadow.
カスラナ
Artificial
の聖
consciousness
魂の
belonging
人
to
像意識
Caslana's
だ。
stigmata.
便宜上。
For
聖魂
convenience's
の意志
sake,
と呼んでも
you
構
can
わない。
call me the will of stigma.
聖魂の意志。
The will of stigma?
確か
I recall Siegfried
ジー
once
クフ
said,
リートがそん
"Oh,
な話を。
okay, this is the Kevin that Siegfried saw talk to in Second Eruption."
違う。
Wait,
彼はどうして
why did he
私の
appear in
夢
my
に
dream in the deep
こ
reaches
の
of
何もない
nothingness?
最
For
終部に
me,
現れ
he's
た。
only a myth.
どうやらなぜこのよう
You
な状
don't
況
seem to
に陥った
understand why
か。
things have come to this.
お前は七重の夢を飲み
You
込み
devoured the sevenfold dream and
意識の
came to
境
a
界ま
boundary
でや
of
ってきた。
consciousness. But this isn't an adventure
しかし、
without destination.
それは
You
目
haven't
的地の
discovered
な
why
い
you're
ボディ
trapped
だろ
here. I might as well show you
こ
the
こに
entire
至るまでの
sequence.
お前の
Let's
自
start
称
with the
反抗的
self-proclaimed
な
rebellious
と
student
あ
of
る生徒の
yours.
話から始めよ
A memory of May from Kevin's perspective flashed across
これは
Teresa's mind. This
う。本
is...
物のケビンは
The
成
real
婚
Kevin
計
wanted to
画を
initiate
指導さ
Project
せようと
Stigma,
したが
but Ryan May was against
ラ
it.
イデン・メイは
He let her go so she could do what she thought was right.
聖婚計画。
Project Stigma?
そ
Exactly.
うすで
In
に動
fact,
き出している
it's set
成
in
婚
motion,
計画
which is why you were
それは
captured by a dream in Hyperion
月
near
の
the
近
moon
くを飛ぶ
and
ハイペリオ
ultimately
に
came
ここ
here.
はカスラナの成婚
We're
経
only a
験の
step
核
away
心
from
と
the
なる
central
地点
space of
で
Caslana's
あと一歩
stigmata,
の場所
which is a shadow cast by the real Kevin in
本物
the
の
past.
だが
But compared to that, you're more
お前
concerned
は
with
成
Project
婚計画
Stigma,
の
aren't you?
方がき
あなたの言葉が本
If
当
you're
な
telling
ら
the truth,
地
I
球
fear
上で
tens of
は
thousands of
数
people
多
on
くの
Earth
人
in
たちが
despair.
窮地に
How
陥っ
can
て
I
いる
leave
は
this
ずよ。
place?
私の試練をクリア
You
し
must pass my test and become a
本
true
物の成
Stigma
婚
awakened.
覚醒者になればいい
That way, Project Stigma will no longer be
そ
able
う
to
すれば
confine
運
you.
命の申し子の聖書
The
は
sanctuary of the children of
お前の
destiny
ために
shall open
開か
for
れる。
you. You will survive
こ
this
の世界
worldwide
に起こる巨大な
upheaval,
変化から
worldwide upheaval safely
逃
there.
そんなことより、
More
あ
importantly,
なたが本当
if
に
you're
カ
really
ス
the
ラナ
will
の
of
成婚の
Caslana's
意志に
stigmata, please tell me how I can save everyone from everything from the ongoing
ど
Project
うすればあ
Stigma.
なたの言う通り、
You said the disaster had occurred, so you ought to know that the information I need is in no way how to survive it safely.
そう焦
Do
る
not
ことはない
rush. The ongoing Project Stigma is not a mere
今実
copy
行
of the
され
Ark
ている成
experiment.
功それにハイペリオンにい
Understanding
るお
why
前
you're
が
also affected
な
in
ぜ巻き込ま
Hyperion
れたかを理
would
解す
immensely
れば
help you grasp the development
ま
of
ずはお
events.
前を安心させてや
Let
ろ
me
う
give you a peace of mind.
今のところ
Until
成
now,
婚計画の
no
せい
one
で
person on Earth has lost their life due to
本当の意味
Project Stigma. That's not true. So,
慌てるな
don't worry. We still have
その
time to
裏で
find
何
out
が起こって
everything
いる
that
の
happened
か
behind the scenes.
知る時間はまだまだある
A memory of Raven from Kevin's perspective flashed across
ケ
Teresa's
ビンと
mind.
渡りガラス。
Kevin and Raven.
それも最
This is
近
a
の待
recent
って。
happening?
どう
Wait,
してあなたが
why do you know what's happening
そう
inside
いう
Blood
はず
Serpent?
だ
Haven't I told you that I'm the will of the
私はカ
Caslana's
スラナの成
stigmata?
婚の意志
I'm not your dream. I'm a
お
living
前の夢
administrator
の
of
一員では
stigmata.
なそれに
Oh, I did not finish reading.
成婚計画によって私
I'm a
たち
living
の境界
administrator
も
of
どんどん
stigmata.
曖昧
I
に
can
なって
find
い
a
る
way to receive the real Kevin's memory fragments. And due to Project Stigma, the boundary between us will
それっ
blur.
て、
The boundary
あ
between you
な
and
たと
Kevin,
ケビンの
or
境界。
the boundary between you and me.
それ、
どちらもだ
Both, actually.
私が言っ
I
た
said
よう
until
に
now, no one person on Earth has
今のと
lost
ころ
their life due to Project
なぜ
Stigma.
なら
That's because at the end of this project, realized stigmata will replace humans, and dreamified humans will become one with the past stigma space.
どういう意味かはさ
Regardless
てお
of what
き、
that actually means,
それは
it's
確
related
実
to my
に
situation, right?
私の状況と
This is
関
the
係があ
time
る。
space stuff where it's basically
その点は間違ってないのよね。
the people that have died in actuality to Project Stigma are like stored in a space-time and will connect to the current existence when it comes online.
その通りだ
Yes, the
月は
moon is
成
a
婚
key
計画
point
の
of Project
要
Stigma. You approached the moon
何も
unwittingly,
知らないまま
thus
月に
became
近
one of
づ
its
いたお
first
前は
sacrifices. However,
そ
due to
のせいで
Vishnu's
一人
trait,
目のお前は夢に落ち
you
ぶれ
didn't
るこ
sink
と
into
な
the
く
dream, but devoured them along the
Alright.
way.
待って、
Wait, that means for ordinary
その
people.
最初の夢に浸っ
Get
たま
lost
ま
in
に
the
なってた
initial
って
dream.
いうの？
like the same prayer where
私が夢
Himiko
で
was
見た
where Kimiko was that I dreamed of.
そうだ。
Yes.
彼らの
Their
意識は
consciousness
聖
will be
魂と同じ
converted to
存
an
在の
existence,
形に変
the
化
same
し
as stigmata, and recede
実
into
数世界から虚数の隙間に
the
退く。
interstice of the imaginary world.
そして聖魂の
Correspondingly,
中の思想は実体と
the
なり、
thoughts in stigmata will be given
徐々
form,
に外側の空間
gradually
に
descend to the
降臨
external
す
space, and replace people in their sleep.
聖魂が
Stigmata
人類に
will replace
取って変わ
humans?
るでも
But isn't
聖
Project
魂
Stigma
計画
aimed
っ
at,
て
aimed to screen the entire population for every Stigma awakened at all
る。
costs?
聖魂覚醒者の価値は
The
非常
Stigma
に希少
awakened
だ
hold
が、
remarkable value, but they're the only they're only the intersection of Stigmata and humans, and the
聖
most
魂計
primitive
画は
guarantee
最
of
も
Project
原始例
Stigma.
を挙げよう。
Let me give you an example, Teresa.
物語の人物が降
If
臨
fictional
し、
characters come alive,
独自の
build
世
their
界
own
を構
world,
築し、
and extend their limitless
それぞれの
possibilities
無
in
限
the
の可能
future,
性を未来へとつなげる。
what do you think this world will be like
そんな
compared to
世
the
界は
current one?
わからない
I don't know. It doesn't sound bad.
では補足しよ
If I add that those fictional characters are free from morality
う。
and
物語
world
の人
destruction,
物に
do you think
少量
do you
描写
think
な
it
どな
doesn't
く、
sound bad?
それは
Are you saying that?
何か心当たりがある
Since
よ
you
うだ
guessed it, I'll sum it up this
も
way.
し
If
天命の
Soul's
理
mission
念
is to
が
find the right destiny,
正しい運命を見つけることで、
Anti-entropy's mission is to defy
ネ
the
ゲント
wrong
ロピン
destiny,
ヨルムンガンドの理
then
念は
World Serpent's mission is to
運
exceed
命そ
destiny
のもの
itself.
その三者に上も下もない
The
が、
three missions are equal,
人類
but
の
as
歴
has
史
been
に幾
repeated
度も
throughout
現れ
human
たよう
history,
に、
when people's aims are no
互いの
longer
目的が
compatible,
相入れなくなった
justice and justice will
正
inevitably
義同士の間
clash.
に
でも
So
ヨ
for
ルムン
World
ガンド側
Serpent,
にとって
since Project Stigma
聖
can
魂
prevent
計
the
画
final
は
Heisha from
確実に
descending,
終焉の
all
律
its
者の
costs
降
can be
臨を阻止で
ignored.
き
そんなに簡単な話では
Things
ない
might
の
not
か
be
もし
that
れない。
simple.
私が話したように、
As I said, Project
今の
Stigma
聖
will
魂
make
計画
Project
では、
will make Stigmata replace
聖魂は
humans. They will
人
fully
類にと
inherit
って
the human
かそうすれば、
civilization.
惑
That
星
way,
の視
from a
点から考
planetary
えて、
perspective, Earth will
地
not
球は
only
何か
lose
を
nothing,
失わ
but
ずに
also
済
be
むだけではな
but
く、
also be sublimed.
なん
地球が
This will be
消
sublimed.
化
夢に閉じ込められているお前にとっては、まだ抽象的すぎる話だろ
This is too abstract for someone
う。
trapped
無
in
理して理
dream.
解する
Instead
よ
of
り、
trying to comprehend
こ
it,
の5万年前の
perhaps a
記憶の方
50,000-year-old
が、
memory would serve you better.
これは、かすらない一族の
This
起
is
点の
also
一つでもある。
one of the beginnings for the Kazana family. So I was hoping we'd get more on this because like we know they showed us that they didn't have a kid, I don't believe, but like there was a clone or there was genetic stuff going on where they created May and Kevin created like a kid. And I don't know how it survived, but I want more information on it.
初めて自分の子供に会ったわけ
Kevin, how do you feel about seeing your child for the
この
first
子
time?
は
Yes,
彼女の
right.
よ。
そう
Is
目の
that
部
so?
分は
They
あな
based
た
her
の
as
遺
in
伝
your
子を
gene
元に
since
し
her
て
mother
デ
was
ザイ
born
ンしたんだ
nearsighted.
まあいいわ
Just
今
trying to
はジョ
liven
ークを
things
言っ
up.
てる場合
Are
じゃ
you
ん
aware of the burden this child will bear? Why the question mark? Oh, I guess because Teresa doesn't know who Mummy is.
彼は、僕を殺すかもしれない。
あ
Oh
ら
wow,
急に
you
覚悟
suddenly
のあ
sound so
ることが
resolved.
あ
Forget it. If that's all you can say, you don't deserve to have her child.
事実を述べたまでだ。
I'm only stating the facts.
あいいでしょう
I have also
私
stated.
も事実
I
を
also
述
have
べるこ
facts
と
to
にす
state.
るわ
I'll personally hack
私
into
は
the
終
final
焉
Hesher's
の律
body
者
when
が
it
そう
descends.
すれば
So when it
次の
cycles
輪廻
again,
が来る
I may slaughter your
私
offspring
は
clean
この
with
手
my
であ
own
なたた
hands.
ちどん
Yeah,
な
it didn't
父親
happen.
になるかはあなた
You
の
get to
自
decide
由
what
だ
kind
け
of father you'll be, but as your full
同
flame
じ英
chaser,
傑と
I'll
し
give you a word of
あなたが
advice.
成婚計
There's
画
no
を
point
背負って
dragging
いる
May's child into Project Stigma
メ
when
イ
you're
の子供
shouldering
も
it.
終焉が降臨し
The
た
world
後
will
の
be
世
so
界
vast after the
あ
final
まりに
Hesher
も広いん
descends.
だもの
Before it cycles again, he has plenty of time to enjoy the freedom of being born a human.
あなたたちはそうい
You
う
people
自
love
由が
that freedom,
大好きな
don't
の
you?
に安心なさい
Relax.
成
Project
婚計
Stigma's
画は
absolutely
絶対
fair.
に公
When
平
it comes into play, the
こ
finality,
の
the
世界
destiny,
に
the
降臨あ
humanity,
なたさ
and even yourself are
綺麗
guaranteed
に
to be
粉砕で
crushed.
き
それは願ったり叶ったりだ。
That'd be best.
とにかく
Anyhow,
私たち
we're
は
living
地下
in
の
an
洞窟
underground
で
cave.
暮らしてる
Oh,
だ
I'm not
け
talking about this vault.
私たちは原
We're
始
merely
人
primitives chained in a cave and facing a blank wall with a fire behind
たま
us.
に炎の
Occasionally,
光に
shadows are projected on
石
the
壁
wall.
に何か
They're
の影
shadows of the world
ほ
to
と
us.
んどの原始人に
It's okay for
そ
most
れは別に
primitives.
悪い
They
こ
put
とじ
their
ゃない
heart and soul into them,
彼らはそれらの
worshipping and
陰に
extolling their
己
made-up
の次元を
stories.
もし長い
Suppose
時
at
間
long
の
last, a
後
primitive broke
あ
free
る
from the
原始人
chains
が
and
鎖
went
を振
straight
り
outside the cave.
洞
Because
窟の
it's
外に
saying
行
that
っ
the
たら
outside
どうな
world
る
is
と思う
unbound and
だ
spectacular.
が
The question is, do you think this primitive would stay outside or go back to save the
彼
others?
の仲間が助けを必要
They
と
don't
しているとは
necessarily
限
need
らな
saving.
い
There are things that the primitive must do. Oh,
その
that's
考
an
えは
interesting
面
answer.
白いわね
But Kevin, don't
ケ
tell
ビ
me
ケビ
you've
自分のこと
taken yourself as the fire in this game.
どれくらい理解したかははっき
Can
り
I
と
actually
言え
forget
ない
it,
け
but
ど
it sounds like for Kevin and the others,
なんとなく
Project Stigma meant more than conquering
聖
Honkai.
魂には彼らの知
Stigmata
識と
record their knowledge
お
in your
前たちの
history.
歴史が記録
We
されてい
apply
る
that allegory to our
おそらく
civilization.
人類こそが壁にある
I
影
fear
で
that humans are the shadows on
聖
the
魂は
wall,
洞窟の
and
外にあ
Stigmata
る
are the only thing,
真実の全てだ
are all things true outside the
人類
cave.
は過ちばかりを犯すくせ
Humans are
に
prone to errors and depravity.
自ら甘ん
They
じて
can
落ち
create
ぶれ
beauty,
る
but they often destroy it.
美
It's hard
し
to
いもの
deny
を
that
作りながら
these are the reasons they're dominated by
それが
failure.
自分で自分を持ち上げてるの
Are you boasting the will Stigmata?
いや
No.
一つの
I'm
概
only
念を
relating
述
an
べている
idea.
までだ
Compared with true forms,
本当のイデアと
compared
比
with
べて
awakened humans,
覚
are
醒後
not
の
even
人類と
close.
比
イデア
Science
べイデアは人類と聖魂の
forms
共
are the
通の
common
ゴー
goal
ル
of
だ
humans and Stigmata,
少なくとも
especially so for people like
5万
you
年
who've
前か
had
ら
Stigmata written into your
遺伝
genes
子に
since
聖魂を
50,000 years
刻むお
ago.
前は律者をよく知
I
ってい
think
る
you
だろう
clearly know what Hershers are.
イデアは
Forms are the polar
律
opposite
者
of
と対になる
Hershers.
もう一
They're
つの
even
極
quite
地だ
similar in appearance.
しかしお前は
However, you've
Idea
never
を
seen a
目撃した
form
こと
or
が
could
ない
recognize an equinox in front of you.
天元のことも
Therefore,
知
in
らない
your language, we can translate Project
律
Stigma
者
as
に呪われた人
to
類を捨
abandon the
て
humans cursed by Hershers
もう一
and
つの礎石
redefine
で文明を
civilization
再
on
定
another
義する
basis.
文明を再定
Redefine
義する
civilization?
ああ
I think
お
you need
前
to
は
realize
一部の
that.
理念においては
In some ideologies,
人類
humans are
が
but
文明の
a
踏み台
stepping
でしか
stone
ない
for
ということ
civilization.
それが理解できないなら
If you can't
自
understand that
分の宿
notion,
命と向
you
き
may
合うと
want
こ
to
ろから
face your
始めると
destiny
いい
first.
行けテレサ・アポカリプス
Go, Teresa
それはお
Apocalypse.
前がいずれ向
That
き
is
合
a
わない
test
とい
you
け
must
ない
face sooner or
試練
later.
だ
遠慮し
Here's battle mode. Give me. I mean, I know I said stuff about difficult. Give me normal. Beginning? Yeah, you know what? Beginning normal mode. This is.
どこもかしこも氷だら
There's
け
ice everywhere. Is this
ケ
in
ビンの
Kevin's
夢の
dream?
中なのかしら
ここはカスラナの聖魂空間の
This
最
is the
深部だ
deepest part of Kazlana's stigma
キ
space.
マイラ計画の意味から考
In
え
terms
れ
of
ば
Project Chimera, it is
確かに
indeed
これは
Kevin's dream.
彼の夢の中だ
キマイラ計画
Project Chimera?
お前も知っていると思うが
I believe you know the origin of the Kazlana
カ
bloodline.
スラナの
It's
血
from
筋
the
の
genes of
源
those
は
Honkai beasts that
ケビン
emerged
と
from the
融合
Kevin's
した
body.
崩壊
Beasts?
獣の遺伝子にある
Plural.
多種多様な崩壊獣の力が
Various Honkai
彼の
beast
中に
powers
交わ
have
り
fused within his body.
融合したから
That's the name Chimera.
キマイラという
But
呼
most
び名が
people
でき
don't
た
know that.
しかし知られていないのはここも聖魂空間が
This is the
存在
reason
す
why
る
the
起点で
stigma
ある
space
というこ
exists
と
in
だ
the first place. Oh,
どういう意味
what do you mean? Kevin's the start of the stigma space?
どうやってここに来たか
Do you remember how you
覚えて
came
いる
here,
か
Teresa Apocalypse?
それは
By
夢を飲み込
devouring
んで
dreams and following your guidance. As you can see, the stigma space can connect to a dream under certain circumstances.
一定の条件
This
下
is
で夢
because
とつなが
Honkai
る
thinks in dreams.
夢
And
は
this is why your Vishnu can
崩壊の
devour
考え方
dreams.
とても不思議だろ
Unbelievable, isn't it? Humans can only
人類
think
は
with the passage of
時
time.
間の流れを通
We
し
can
て考え
understand
る
dreams
必要
where
がある
time is
か
distorted, and neither can I.
らだがそういう混乱が
But it is such
現実
distortion
以外
that
の
created a
空間を
space
作り
outside reality
と
and
あ
made
る
it
計画
possible
の
for
た
a
めにあ
plan
る
to catch a dream.
その状況下なら
In this case,
たとえ聖
even
魂
if
の
one
力と
cannot
一つに
become
なれ
one
な
with
く
the
ても
power of stigma,
自身
they
の
can
実体を
exchange their
夢と
physical
交
form
換
with a
し
dream, allowing a
己の
stigma
代
to
わりに
exist
聖
as the
魂を
cornerstone
文明
of
の礎石
civilization
と
in
して
the
存続
place.
させることができる最終的に
Ultimately,
この
Earth
地
will
球
be
は聖魂
replaced by
空
the
間に
stigma
置き換えら
space,
れ
and civilization
そ
will
して
start
文
anew
明
from
も
here.
そこから新たな旅を始める
Think
そ
I
の過程
understand
は
what
世
he's
界の
saying?
両端で同時に始まる
The process will begin
虚
simultaneously
数
from
側
both
で
ends
は
of the world.
それは最初
On
の
the
聖
imaginary
魂空間
side, it's the original stigma space.
現実
On
側
the
で
real
は
side, it's the
それは
destination of
終焉の
finality
帰る
in
場所
countless civilizations. So I
か
think
つての無
he's
数の文明
saying.
の終点だ
Okay, there's one thing I'm unclear on. So he's saying that like civilization is going to continue in the stigma space in the dream, but is he saying that the stigmata will take over in here, or this is where the humans are going to continue? Like, are the humans going to feed and become the stigmata in here, or are the stigmata going to be outside and the humans are going to be inside? I mean, either way, we're making Penacony. Hey, you're afraid of the moon.
無論だ
Of course.
言ったはずだろ
I said it's the fundamental reason you in orbit around the moon were affected by Project Stigma.
でも月が
If
成
the
功
moon
計
is
画
only an
を
end of
スター
Project
トさせる
Stigma,
一つの
does
視
that
点
make the
で
other end the Stigma Space
もう一つ
Rain?
の地点
その通りだ
Exactly. So what will your choice be? New
懸
shits
命
will
抗う
overseer.
ことを諦め
You can stop struggling
改
and fall
めて
back
夢を
into the
満
dream.
喫することもできるし
You can push yourself to your limit and
限
awaken
界
your
に挑
stigma.
戦して
Or,
あるいはここが
alright, since
夢
this
と
place
つ
is
ながって
connected
る
to
以
the
上
dream, I can devour this
私
end
が
and
こ
ruin
の地点
Project
を飲み
Stigma.
込めば
大した勇気だ
Your bravery is commendable, Teresa Apocalypse. But I wouldn't recommend that.
私が力不足だ
Because you
か
think
ら
I'm incapable?
いや
No.
そういうこと
I'm
を言っ
talking
て
about
い
an
るわけでは
external
ない
factor that's more direct.
やはり
急にどうした
All
の
of a sudden, what's going on?
はじめまして
Nice to meet
新たな天
you,
命
new
の
ship
司教
overseer.
僕は
I'm Kevin. You can call
ケ
me
ビン・カスラナと呼んでもらって構わない
Real Kevin.
ここに来ているということは
Since you came, I
成
assume
功計
you
画
know
につい
about
て多
Project
少なり
Stigma.
今までヨルムンガンドは
World Serpent has been
崩
trying to
壊に
avoid
対抗す
confronting
る勢力の
anti-Honkai
敵になる
forces.
ことを避けてき
Confronting
た
anti-Honkai forces. So this time,
だから
I hope your new
今回は君たち
organization will not impede the only way to
崩
purge
壊に
Honkai.
崩壊に打ち勝つ
The only way to purge
漁
Honkai?
師の海を出てから
Ever since leaving the Sea of
僕はずっ
Quanta,
と君た
I've
ちを
been
観
watching
察してきた
I also learned your history through Void Archives.
これまで君たちは多
You've
くの努
endeavored
力を
until
し
now, and achieved much better
当時の
results than
僕
we
た
did
ちよ
back
りもし
then.
かし
But you're still powerless
終焉
before
と
the
対峙す
finale.
るには
終焉の律
The
者
final Hesher.
まさ
Is
か
it having shortly?
これは一つの均衡だ
This is the balance. Young Shixel overseer.
若き少し前にヨルムンガン
Not
ド
long
に協
ago,
力した
Raiden
ラ
May
イデン
helped the
メイ
World
が
Serpent suppress
第
the 12th
12
Hersher.
日を鎮圧した
This means the course of our two civilizations have
君たちが
coincided.
原理的に言えば確か
In
に
theory, World Serpent is able to delay its arrival for a
終
year
焉
or
の
two.
氷しかし僕たちがそう
But
いっ
if
た
we
行
do
動を
that,
見
the
て
nature of the final Hersher will differ from what it was in the last era. I mean, it already
一
has
つ
to be
前
though.
の世代と全く違
There's
って
been no Hersher of death. There's been no Hersher binding. Trying to think of the others. Reason, wind, fire, ice, earth, corruption, binding, death, void, sentience. Which one am I forgetting? I guess it is just I guess it is just death and yo, my brain works so great. Domination, right, was the other one. Yeah, I guess it is just death and binding that haven't shown up. Oh, Origin also. No Elysia yet. If we do that, the nature of the final, yeah,
断りの律者から
from the
侵
Hersher
食
of
の
Reason
律
to the
者
Hersher of Corruption,
そし
and
て
the Ascension of Raiden May and the
曲
others.
折しながらも
Ascension.
今
Although there were
13種の
twists, the
律者に
power,
よ
the
る
power of
終焉の
finality
力は
determined by the 13 Hershers
全文明
is
と完
exactly
全に
the same
一致
as
し
it
た
was 50,000 years ago. And it's the
そ
only
れは
form of
僕たちが
finality
唯
that we
一外から
understand
うち
thoroughly.
に一人目の律者が誕生す
Leaving
る前
aside
の
the
状況
situation
は
before
避
the
けて
first Hersher's birth.
今
Now
こ
is
そ
our only chance to execute
僕たち
Project
が
Stigma
成
and
婚
purge
計画
Honkai
を
once
遂
and for
行
all.
それって
Are you saying that you've been waiting for this
海援助の時から。
chance since the deep?
分かりきったことだと思う
That is
が
plain to see.
これは唯一のチャンスだ
This is the only chance.
そ
Before it
して
appeared,
そ
World
れが
Serpent had
現れ
done
るま
everything they
で
could to reduce the
ヨ
side
ルム
effects
ン
of
ガンド
Project
はでき
Stigma.
る
でも私の
As
知って
far
る
as I
限り
know, that's just changing
それは
Mandy's death
人々の
sentence to
死刑を
life sentence.
無期刑に変えただけ
どう比較するかは君の
You're
自
free
由
to.
だ
What
が
is the fuck does that mean,
この方法の
Teresa?
他に
You're
地
free to
球の
draw
文明に
comparisons.
別の道
But
が
I
ある
don't
とは
believe
思え
Earth's civilization has another way out.
僕は5万年前に全てを経
I
験した
underwent what happened 50,000 years ago. I said you know nothing about Honkai.
テレサ
Teresa, your eyes are
君の
filled
目に
with
は憤
rage,
が満ちて
but
い
you
る
don't
が
know at whom to direct it.
それなら
But allow me to test your
Look.
quality.
ここはカスラナの聖魂空
This
間
is the
だ。
Kazlana stigma space.
どのカスラナ
Every
の力
power from
も
the Kazlana is
ここで
equal
は
here.
完全に対等になる。さあ、
Come,
僕に挑む。
challenge me. Battling is the right way to
戦
think
うこと
over
こそ
this.
が問題を考える本当のやり方だ。君たちの言う天命を僕は知っている。
I know about the shit that you all speak of.
君たちは
You think civilization is exactly what you think it is. That humanity is exactly what you all have passed down from generation to generation.
人類だと思っている。しかしそれは
That is but an
傲慢
arrogant
な妄想
delusion.
に過ぎない。 僕たちは草木と何の
We
違
are
い
no
もない。
different from the nature on this earth.
火起こし、
To make fire from wood, to slash and burn.
宇宙に
Even
行け
after
るよう
we
に
have
なった
flown
と
to
しても、
space, even though they're still
人
unable
類はその子
to...
供時代からは逃れられない。宇宙ではどんな知恵も
Okay. Every wisdom in this galaxy is limited by how it exists. This isn't an obstacle you
そ
can
れは
overcome
意志で
solely with
克
your
服で
will.
きる障害ではない。鳥がなぜ飛べるか知ってい
You
る
know why birds can fly?
終焉の隕石が白
When the
亜紀に
meteor
降
of
り注い
finality
だ。
crashed during the Cretaceous period.
自由な
Only the
鳥た
birds
ちだ
that
け
flew
が決めら
freely
れた
can
滅
escape
亡から
inevitable
逃れられた。
extinction.
大した意志だ。
Strong-willed.
残念な
Only
こ
if
と
you
に
were in a strong-minded.
はた
Is that all you've got? He'll be thinking with me all day.
遠慮する。
That won't be necessary.
残酷すぎる
It's
相
a
手
waste
に
of
これ
time
以
to
上
argue
話
with
して
the
も
overly stubborn.
テレサ・アポカリプス。
Teresa Apocalypse.
終焉の力が
Brace
含まれた
yourself for a
一
blow
撃
that
を
contains the power of finality. Ooh, okay. We're making it a claymore. I haven't seen the claymore form of it yet. The man's sword began to burn black, with an overwhelming power emerged from his form. This is the space of Kazlana Stigmata. Every power from the Kazlana rivaled one another here. It was obvious that the power he was wielding had nothing to do with the Kazlana name. Actually true.
ありえない。
Impossible! Who is this white-haired man? This is Kevin Kazlana. He's the last remaining, basically the last remaining person from the previous civilization 50,000 years ago and watched everyone he loved die. Also, he is one of the new Star Rail characters as an XP of him.
見たことのないこの
This is
力。
unprecedented power. It is.
崩壊を前にして
The people of this era
こ
have
の時代は
triumphed over
輝かし
Honkai
い
many
戦績を
times.
残したという。
Perhaps too many times. It has made them naive.
だ
Want
から
him to
こそ
stab me with his sword? I mean, he
人々は常
might.
に単純
I
す
think
ぎ
you should play HI3, Freya. You'll really like it. It's a story about love. It's just also really, really long. And kind of terribly translated.
これが輪廻の中のかけら。他人が作った
So
局面
naive
であ
that
る
they
ことを
forgot
忘れるくらい。
this is only the remains of a cycle. And a chess composition set by another.
それなら
In that
唯
case,
一の計
before the
画を
only
完
project
遂
is
させる
completed,
僕は終焉とし
I,
て
the representative of the finality, will show you the representative
代
of
表として
humanity,
こ
the
こにや
real
ってきた
horrors.
僕はただのケビンだ。
I'm Kevin. Kazlana has long meant nothing to me. Boom! Ah, it's the will of
カスラの聖
Stigmata.
魂の意志だ。
I'm the will of Kazlana's stigma.
私に他の選
Kevin,
択肢は
you
ない。
leave me no choice. Kevin on Kevin violence, let's go!
君は彼女を助けられ
You
ない。
can't help her. The Judgment Shamash is so cool. Oh, there it is.
結局君たちは
All in all, you know nothing about Honkai.
だがお前も
But you don't know a
自
thing
分の
about
子
your
孫のことを
descendants
何
either.
も知らない。
I love this form. I've seen it in the Elysian realm and in some events, but I've been waiting for it to actually like come out in the real game. Will Stigma, am I playing as a Kevin? Tap attack for Will Stigma to wield Might of on Utu and deal fire damage through consecutive slashes. Tap ultimate for Will of Stigma to deal ice damage with the power of Honkai Beast. I am playing as Kevin. This is wild. The only time a male will exist in HA3. In the past. Well, I despise your destiny. Despise how weak they were. Until I met a person who lost the Kazlana name. Her unrelenting will against fate made me realize how foolish I was. Kevin, your descendants are not anyone's pawn, and they are not replaceable lives. Is he talking about Durandal? You have no reason to kill any of them. Prepare yourself. You're about to face karma. I had to select the difficulty, so I have a feeling like I have to actually witness and not die. But if they cannot endure this, then the will they have is only a meaningless cry. You disappoint me, administrator of the Stigmata. It's high time you ended your mission. Come on! It's about time to end this meaningless fight. The will of Kazlana's stigma vanished.
Kevin.
The final. Oh, well. Kevin, what did you just do?
何をしたの?
That's not important. You should worry about yourself first. We once gave everything we had to exchange for merely half a day in the face of finality. In that short yet lasting time, we could only protect all of you. Help me! Kevin's really scary.
Beyond justice.
Okay, cool, good. I don't have to do all this health. You did well. 50,000 years earlier, you could fight in the final battle. Only Project Stigma doesn't need extra variables. That's futile to continue a one-sided battle. Farewell, Teresa. The Blade of Judgment had been swung. For World Serpent, Saint Freya's principal and her Hersha students would vanish at the end of space and time. The authority of finality had returned, and it would give due meaning to a moment 50,000 years ago. Countdown, 1 minute. That's Mobius. You're the Saint? Yeah, Saint Freya is the school. Again, I highly recommend you play it. You'll enjoy it. After passing through a dark and narrow passage, the girl finally arrived at the final destination of her trip. Her slightly cloudy serpentine pupils reflected a crystal blue light screen. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Won't you say hello to me? Prometheus. Hello, Dr. Mobius. I'm number 7. Oh, okay, number 17 is Prometheus. Although it's a pleasant surprise to see you here. I don't understand why you will choose a suicidal act. Suicidal? So that's how you see it, huh? According to my impromptu calculations, with the finality running, your vital functions will cease to function in about half an hour. Pretty much. But that also applies to your body, Prometheus. I'm number 17. The machine doll stubbornly stressed this point. She did not like sharing her name, especially with number 0 that could not get over herself, or number 16 that was produced in the same batch. Is Mobius, Dr. Mobius, is an AI. I can freely upload my mind, but you... Oh, I get it. You think I can't do it, right? Understandable. To your knowledge, mantises depend on their flesh. Unfortunately, we can't reach other Prometheus models at the moment. Otherwise, they'll tell you the similarity between Project Stigma and the Ace Divine Key. Right. Instead of worrying about my adventure, you should be worrying about the plan you're going to execute. Ace Divine Key, the sentience, that should be Feng Huang down, right? She would be able to preserve her consciousness with that. After all, you'll follow the trail that woman, Elysia, blazed, and perform a feat that's the exact opposite, but equally remarkable. You'll become a Trojan horse projected to the imaginary side, impose the constraints of thought on Honkai, and drive it onto a track laid by humans. Do you know what that really means? They will no longer be able to emulate human thinking. That's some downplaying. On the pathway that connects this planet to the imaginary space, your invasion will induce the birth of countless parallel consciousnesses. You should know the tentative name May gave them. Imaginary Renormalization Group. And their existence solidifies the occurrence patterns of Honkai, allowing the power of Hershers to remain unchanged to the greatest extent possible in all mappings. So that's why the Hershers have been extremely similar in this era. That's why it followed the same patterns. In other words, you'll be the biggest contributor to the war against Honkai in the next era. Because the Hershers they will encounter, starting from the Hersh of Reason, will be the same as in our era. But it comes at a price. Your consciousness will become one of them, and be mercilessly engulfed by them, unless the only backdoor is activated correctly by someone. But that activation also means the death of you and the entire renormalization group. Ah, life is so much fun. Compared with number 0, you can really irk me in this regard, number 17. But, oh well, there's an infinity that only belongs to you. Prometheus wanted to say something, but an all-devouring darkness had already come between them. I guess the time for us to say goodbye has come. Say goodbye to this world, Prometheus. I'm number 17. I know. Rather than cold numbers of the hyperbolic will of Honkai, I want you to have a human name. I swear, is that actually it? Okay, no, there's more. Good. If I disconnected for less than a minute of remaining content, I was going to scream. It's 12 is the end, okay. We back, maybe. I love my internet and everything about it. Help me. Who's there? I'm sorry, my sudden appearance must have made you more nervous. Prince Hyperion kept drifting off course, and Teresa fell into a coma, and just now her body bizarrely disappeared in deep space. Just when you're at your wit's end, the mysterious eye showed up. Big Eye-chan. are you exactly?
そうだね。
No, you can't use that. That's copyrighted. I mean, not exactly,
So
but like, you can't copy Tsukasa. Me? You just call me passing female lead
とに
A.
かく、
Anyway, I'm here to
助けに
help.
来たの。
As for proof,
証拠
I know in
は
half an hour, Hyperion will be torn apart by the space distorted by Project Stigma. What?
慌てないで。
Don't
まだ
panic.
9
You're
機の
not
空
hopeless.
中空母の
The
戦術
tactical
的
role
役
of
割も
airborne carrier of the prototype of Celine. They're
ど
not
ちらもテレサちゃ
irreplaceable.
んは精魂空間に
Carissa
消え
is
たけど
lost in the Stigma space, which may be an
あなたが
an
抜け出す手段
opportunity
を
for you
ちゃ
to
ん
get
と忘れな
away.
いで。
Don't forget that AI is pure consciousness. As long as you have a data carrier, you have a chance of survival and help everyone in your own way.
ちゃんにしかでき
In
ない
my own way, such as controlling the functions of Hyperion simultaneously.
理解が早いね。
You're bright.
結果精魂
Results-wise,
計画は
Project
これ
Stigma
か
will
ら
construct
地球
a
と月の
complex
間に
pseudo-time
複
crystal
雑な
between
疑
Earth
似
and the
間
Moon.
結晶を構築する。
It'll indeed destroy any
それは
foreign matter that
エリアに
intrudes
入
into
っ
the
た
space,
あらゆる
and
技
it's
術
also a
を
special
壊すけど
opportunity that we can
利
seize.
用できる。疑似時間
Huh?
結晶が
You don't know
何
what a
かって
pseudo-time crystal is?
まあまあ
It's too
説明
difficult
するとかなり
it's too
面
difficult
倒
to
なことにな
explain.
るから
Can we
ま
save
た
it for
今度
next
にしない
time? I love the difference between the official VA and your voicing. The thing is, there's so many characters in this game that, like, I would be giving the voice that I give to, like, Teresa and Kiana to this. I just need something to be distinct enough, distinctly different enough, and the Ginger voice work.
大丈夫これからも
I
会う機
challenged
会
the
がある
Goober
から
enough.
今回じゃなくてもい
Don't
いんだ
worry,
よ
this won't be the last time we meet.
さあまず
Come
は
on,
仕
let's
事
get
し
to
よう
work. The female lead began working urgently, feeding Hyperion different complex commands non-stop. She really did not have the time to explain. Countdown 25 minutes. The moon hung high in sapphire. After a day's work, people were drifting off to sleep. Countdown 20 minutes. Arc City had lit up. Its streets were filled with the aroma of hot pot and malatang. Countdown 15 minutes. It was almost the evening rush hour in Moscow. The empty metro stations would soon be packed. Countdown 10 minutes. Belgrade was enjoying a warm afternoon. Cats stretched lazily in the sun. Countdown 5 minutes. St. Fountain saw a downpour, unusual for a summer in the southern hemisphere. People unaccustomed to dark clouds even mistook it for a solar eclipse. Countdown 3 minutes. It was another quiet morning in New York. A traveling painter sitting on the lawn in Central Park was about to open a new sketchbook. I do not want to eat a mala cookie even a little bit. Malatang is like the kind of a kind of hot pot. I know this because mala cookie is a character in Cookie Run Kingdom. I believe in you, Freya. I think you could eat the mala cookie. Countdown 1 minute. At the foot of the El Moro Castle in Havana, early rising children were clumsily but earnestly practicing Shenzhou fists after their sifu. Countdown ends. It happened in a split second. The world was emptied. Then the things that had existed reappeared, as if nothing had changed, but that was only an illusion. Mountains, oceans, rivers, cities, and even the Hyperion that was 380,000 kilometers away all began to transform and restructure under the new laws. The minute humans amid them were gone. They had become the mountains, they had become the seas, they had joined this planet. In the common dream bought by Project Stigma. What does any of that mean? Oh, hello. This is not good. The moon! Oh, that's Bronya. God, please let Bronya finally do something. Judgment Shamash, okay. Why does this look sped up? I missed the flame chases already. Okay, so this is... Oh, there. Okay, I've finally seen that GIF. So this was when they faced the finale. No, because there's... Oh, this is a preview for the upcoming chapter. Yo, this is so cool. No, be nice to Bella. You can't hurt my dragon. It's all that's left of Siren. It's not totally true, but... I'm excited for that. AT. Oh, I hope Bronny gets to do something. She's been shafted for so long. The moon. A silver desert covering 38 million square kilometers of surface area. A dead waste over 4 times as large as the Sahara. In a corner of this uninhabited planet, an ancient mechanical life was cleaning the room for the children that would come. The earth is like leaves. It grows before the flowers and fruit, and builds a living earth. Compared to it, all fauna and flora are merely living a parasitic life. He went about his work methodically. I can speak and read, occasionally reciting his favorite prose poems. He recalled what that scholar stated in another chapter. Manual laborers, when gazing into the fire at night, cast the chaotic and vulgar thoughts they had in the day into the fire to purify them. He looked at the statistic on the computer. The data was too trivial to serve any real purpose, but its comprehensiveness alone gave it some metaphysical value. A person that does not commit to any vocation can never attain tranquility. No success is achieved through discarding. Alas, being a poet must be the most difficult job, surpassing all past glories by oneself. In any age, this is a job purely for geniuses. Someone like me can only dare to tell silly doggerel, fit for a clown, from performing comedy for kids. The room had been cleaned. He returned to the computer and casually deleted some obsolete files. Among them was a promotional video that took him months to make, but had never been published. But that did not discourage him. He had played video games while his headset played his rather charming speech one last time. Human friends around the world, good evening. I am Grey Serpent, the temporary spokesperson for World Serpent. I'm sorry to take up your time during other programs. In the next few minutes, I will concisely summarize how the fate of humanity on Earth has changed drastically in the last few hours. In fact, thanks to the secret efforts of World Serpent, the disaster known as Honkai has disappeared from Earth. If you experienced any conditions today, please do not worry. It's only an insignificant side effect of eliminating the Honkai. Your lives are not threatened. Furthermore, they will merge into a sea of thought, merge into spiritual Adam. The world, realistic and ugly, will lose its meaning for you, while the dream, eternal and sweet, will become your reality. You will be freed from the shackles of time. Your dreams will be connected, which will build a true miracle that transcends everything. Bless you. The fabled Elysium is arising as I speak. Every soul that hears this gospel will receive the truest proof of immortality. That was where the recording ended. Grey Serpent smiled self-mockingly and tapped the screen, completely deleting the source video. Months of work came to naught, but he felt grateful. Grateful for always being tasked with the most creative jobs among the Grey Serpents. Caring for children was much more interesting than fighting. Don't you agree? I don't know what that means. I mean, I kind of understand it, but... Alright, so that's the EX chapter. That is where I'm fucking tired and I don't want... that is technically the third time that stream has like, crashed today. 2 were before the like, actual stream. So I'm stopping here. Next time, which may be Friday, probably, we'll see, you know. We will be going ahead into the arc for real and go to the end of the world, apparently. I didn't actually look at the chapter name. I'm gonna try to stream on Wednesday for Rika Chooses the Horrifying Experience 4. Gonna push that through. Yeah, I have a few things planned. Hopefully, we can keep pushing through HI3. I as much as I do like it, I really want to be done with it so I have more freedom in what I do. But yeah, that will be it for today. I hope to see you all again in the future. Bye-bye now.